everyone. Welcome to our January 9th, 2025 Code Enforcement Board meeting. Right, the meeting will now come to order. Okay. Let's see, may we have a roll call, Madam Secretary?
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Gonzalez.
Present.
Ms. Marsh. Ms. Roby. Mr. Harrington.
Here.
Ms. Himes.
Here.
Mr. Mahegan. And Mrs. Kindig.
Here. We need a motion to excuse Mr. Mahegan and Ms. Roby. Such a motion?
Second.
Motion, Mr. Gonzalez. Second, Ms. Himes, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Okay, we have, well, I'll do that during announcements. Approval of the November 14th, 2024 meeting. Everyone had a chance to read? Any corrections? Okay, motion to approve.
So moved. Second.
Motion, Ms. Himes, second, Mr. Harrington. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Anybody need to disclose any ex parte communication? All right. Do we have any announcements, Madam Secretary? Well, let's start this way. Happy New Year, everyone. And I think Mr. Gross, our city attorney, would like to introduce a new member here. So if you'd please do that.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And for those board members who don't know me, I'm Ben Gross. I'm the city attorney. Tony Jackson is unavailable today, suddenly, so I'll be sitting here in his place. And with me, I have our newest assistant city attorney, Melissa.
Good morning. Welcome. And we also have a new police officer up here today, and that's Sergeant Conley. Welcome to you.
Thank you.
Okay. Do we have any other announcements, Madam Secretary?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Oh, the first thing I'd like to do is we're going to correct the agenda date.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Okay, go ahead.
The first announcement is it should be January 9th, 2025.
Right. Okay.
On page 2.
Uh-huh.
On page 2,
Yes.
case 1 will be via Zoom.
Okay.
Page 4, case number 7, CEB 01-2419, 402 Auditorium Boulevard via Zoom.
Okay.
Case number 10, CEB 07-2497, 829 North Grandview Avenue via Zoom. Page 5, case number 11, CEB 04-2458, 826 Cannon Street via Zoom.
Wow. Okay.
Page 6, case number 18, CEB 06-2492, 642 El Dorado Street via Zoom.
Wow.
Page 7, case 21, CEB 01-2514, 543 Division Street has been administratively pulled. Page 8, case 24, CEB 01-2527, 2312 North Oleander via Zoom.
Which one is that? I'm sorry.
24, case 24.
Okay, that's another Zoom. Okay.
Case 25, CEB 01-2528, 252 Woodland Avenue is in compliance as of January 7th, 2025.
Okay.
Page 11, case 33, CEB 012510, 1187 Jimmy Ann Drive is in compliance as of January 7th, 2025. Page 12, case 40, CEB 012518, 440 Alamander Street is in compliance as of January 8th, 2025. Page 13, case 41, CEB 012519, 457 North Martin Luther King Boulevard, where the first notice, it should say 9/23/24.
Should say 9/23.
That's a correction where it says
Yes, ma'am.
first notified. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And that is my last announcement.
All right. Thank you very much.
We had 3 people out of 46 actually comply, and since November, how nice.
Yeah. All right. Those are our announcements. Let's see. All right. Would our code officers please stand up and be sworn in?
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you.
Okay. All right, everybody, here's our procedure. We will be calling cases by number and for the most part in order as they are listed on the agenda. If there are any attorneys present that need to be in court, we will hear those cases first. If there are any police officers, likewise, that need to get back on duty, we will also hear those cases first. When your case is called, please come forward and be sworn in. State your name and address for the record. If you are not the owner of the property, please state your relationship to the owner. Our proceedings are recorded, so please speak into the microphone. The board hears from code officers first, and then you will be given the opportunity to respond. Please direct all of your responses to our board. Witnesses may also testify following the same procedures. If we're not finished by 11, we'll take a very short break at 11. I'm hoping that we'll be done close to that, so move right along. All right, Mr. Sykes, was there something you wanted to do first, or that we needed to do first?
Yes, excuse me. If we can have Inspector Atani and Inspector Jones have their cases heard first.
Okay, please come forward. What case, let's hear what case number this is, please.
Madam Chair, I have a question.
Yes.
Do we have a lien review?
Yes, we do, but we're going to do this because there's a police issue with some of this, so we need to get this case done. All right, tell me what case number this is?
We're going to start on page 3, case number 4, and it should be 549 South Keach Street.
Page 4,
Page 3,
page 3. What
case
case?
number 4,
Oh, case number 4.
549 South Keach.
Okay, got it. Case number 4, CEB 09-24-157, Harold Wayne Benjamin, 549 South Keach Street. Respondent present? Okay, go ahead. This is a case from before. Go ahead.
Inspector Itani, Code Compliance. Credentials are on file. Respondent was first notified on May 31st, 2024. Since the November hearing, I have had no contact with the owner. The boards on the windows have been removed and new windows were installed, but without a permit. Last inspection was January 8th, 2025. The results was non-compliance. Staff recommends a fine of $100 a day with a cap of $10,000.
Yeah, my apologies, board members. We're gonna change that recommendation to continuance to the next. There was a procedural defect in the order, and we're concerned about due process. So our request is that you amend that order and extend the compliance date to the date of the next meeting.
Okay. All right, so this is what the city's requesting at this point. Is that's good with you, right? Correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Will when you bring the case back, are you going to include no permit for the windows in the,
Well, that's going to be a new case.
it'll be a brand new case?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. I'm trying to just take all these notes down. All right. The chair will entertain a motion to amend the previous order of noncompliance and and continue the case.
No, it's going to be a new case.
No, the request is to amend the order previously issued to extend the compliance date.
To amend the previous order of noncompliance
To extend the compliance date.
and to extend the compliance date until
Next cutoff.
the next
Next
cutoff date, which is 2/5/2025.
Okay, I'm going to add, if you're extending the original case, the no permit is not included in it, so we need to address that
Nothing
issue.
precludes the staff from bringing a separate case for a different violation
Right.
of the same property.
Okay.
And procedurally, in order for that different case to go forth, there needs to be a notice of hearing, and we need to start from the beginning on that case.
Okay.
Okay. All right, do I have a motion? Motion, Ms. Marsh, second.
Second.
Second, Ms. Himes, all in favor say aye. Like sign opposed, motion carries. Okay. Is there another one? Okay, go ahead. What case number would you like to hear now? Go ahead, Mr. Syke.
5.
All right, case number 5, CEB 10-24-165, James Robinson at 1137 Madison Avenue.
So the respondent was first notified on June 24th, 2024. Since the November hearing, I have had contact with the owner and the contractor. The permit has been applied for, however, it's been waiting corrections. So since the last inspection on January 8th, 2025, the result was non-compliance. Staff recommends a fine of $100 a day with a cap of $10,000.
And I apologize. This again is a situation where the order that was issued has a technical error in it, and we're going to change that recommendation to amending your prior order to extend the date for compliance until the next cutoff date, February 5th.
Okay,
I have a question.
go ahead.
Yeah, because this is the second case with the same issue, but what is the technical?
The compliance date was listed as 2024
Oh.
in
Okay,
the order that
Yeah,
went
yeah.
out.
okay.
So, just to be clear, we have a series of cases where the order contains that error. In those instances where we know from looking at the minutes that the respondent was here at the last meeting,
Right.
then we're gonna assume the respondent had actual notice of the compliance date, notwithstanding that Scrivener's error.
Right,
In other situations, in order to make sure that we give everybody due process, because ultimately, if these orders aren't complied with, we have to take additional steps, and the courts are gonna look at due process.
right.
We're asking for the extension for that reason.
Thank you for the clarification.
Okay, Chair will entertain a motion to amend the previous order of noncompliance and continue the case until the next cutoff date, which is February 5th, 2025. Such a motion? Motion, Ms. Marsh, second. Second, Ms. Himes, all in favor say aye. Like sign opposed, motion carries. Do we have another one?
Case number 6.
Oh, boy. Okay,
No.
case number 6?
Yeah, no, page 3,
Page-
page 6.
Case 6, page 3?
Yes.
Okay. Page 3, case 6. CEB 10-24-167. Beatrice Sims, estate, care of Crystal Keybrock at 873 Madison Avenue.
Madam Chair and board members, this is going to be a same request as the last case. City's going to ask that you amend the prior order, extend the compliance deadline to the next cutoff date of February 5th, 2025.
Stupid.
Any questions? Chair will entertain a motion to amend the previous order of non-compliance and continue the case until the next cutoff date, which is February 5th, 2025.
So technically, the motion would be to extend the compliance deadline until the next cutoff date.
To amend or rescind?
Rescind.
Amend,
Yeah.
right, the previous order. Okay. Is there such a motion? Motion, Ms. Mars, second.
Second.
Second, Ms. Himes, all in favor say aye. Like sign opposed. Motion carries. Any more?
Page 13, case 41, 457 North Martin
Wait a
Luther
minute.
King.
Let's get to the right page here. Page 13, yes.
Case 41.
Case 41. CEB 01-25-19, Gloria Dickerson at 457 North Martin Luther King Boulevard.
So,
Sa- Same issue, go ahead.
no, my turn. This case was opened on August 21st, 2024. A complaint generated case for unmaintained landscaping, dirt and grime, damaged porch, missing handrails, missing front door, no address numbers, damaged structural members, and a damaged roof. First notice was received on September 23rd, 2024. Compliance was due on October 23rd, 2024. Last inspection was January 8th, 2025, and the result was non-compliance. There has been no contact with the owner. Staff recommends a finding of non-compliance with compliance due by next cutoff.
Why are we hearing this case first? Why are we going out of order with it? Because you need to leave. Is that correct? Okay, that's fine. Just want to know. All right, this is a new case. The city has recommended to find respondent non-compliance or respondent come into compliance by the next cutoff date 2/5/2025 or be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 a day. Such a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion, Mr. Gonzalez, second, Mr. Harrington, all in favor say aye. Like sign opposed, motion carries. Go ahead. Next case, please.
Next case would be case 42.
Okay. Same issue, you need to leave, so we're hearing this case first. Go right
Yes.
ahead. This is case number 42, CEB 01-25-20, Johnny Noviello at 515 Westmoreland Road. Go ahead.
This case was opened on June 26, 2024. A complaint generated case.
Could I, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but is the respondent present?
No.
No, okay. Thank you. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
This case was opened on June 26, 2024. A complaint generated case for outside storage, overgrown landscaping, dirt and grime, front and backyard parking, trash and debris, dilapidated fence, junk vehicles, and dilapidated metal door, and the color of the house numbers. First notice was received on July 5th, 2024. Compliance was due by August 5th, 2024. Last inspection was January 8th, 2025, and the result was non-compliance. There has been contact with the owner. Staff recommends a finding of non-compliance with compliance due by next cutoff.
Any questions? Chair will entertain a motion to find respondent in non-compliance or respondent come into compliance by the next cutoff date, February 5th, 2025, or be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. Such a motion?
Moved.
Motion, Mr. Harrington, second, Ms. Marshall. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Like sign opposed, motion carries. Okay. Go ahead. Next case would be, are we doing 43? Because that's your case
It'll
as
be
well?
43 through 47.
Oh, so we're doing all, okay, we're going to do all of these. Okay, that's just fine. So these are all just compliance or non-compliance. Okay. This is case 43, CEB 01-25-21, Willie Mae McCoy Estate. Respondent present? Yes. Where? Please come forward if you'd like to speak. This is just whether you're in compliance or not in compliance today. We're going to hear from the code officer. Well, state your name and address for the record, please.
My name is Tracy McCoy, address 332 Dilly Street.
And be sworn in.
Is that Tracy with the Y?
No, 2 E's.
2 E's. The last name again was McCoy.
McCoy.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
What is your relationship to Willie Mae McCoy Estate?
That's my grandmother.
Grandma. Okay. And you're part of the estate, I assume.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, it's 3 of us.
All three of you.
It's 3 of us.
Okay, that's fine. But you have permission to
Yes, ma'am.
speak for the
Absolutely.
estate. Okay. That's what we need to know. All right, go ahead.
This case was opened on August 2nd, 2024. A complaint generated case for outside storage, dirt and grime, parking in the back and side yard, trash and debris, no house numbers, dilapidated roof, and boarded windows.
Excuse me. Our agenda says it was open 10/14.
That's when they were notified.
It said, I'm reading, says first notified 10/14.
All right.
Yes, sir. First notified was received on October 14th, 2024.
Okay.
Compliance was due November 14th, 2024. Last inspection was January 8th, 2025, and the result was non-compliance. There has been contact with relatives of the owner. Staff recommends a finding of non-compliance with compliance due by next cutoff.
Okay, do you think you'll be able to get that done?
Oh, it absolutely doesn't look like that anymore. But
Oh,
yeah, could I
okay,
ask for
good.
an extension to get it done?
Okay,
please?
and just make sure you stay in contact with your code officer because
I've
she's
contacted her a
good,
few times,
terrific,
which is
because she's the
okay.
one that will put you into compliance, and you won't have you won't have to come back if you're in compliance.
Okay, that's
Okay,
fine.
so Chair will entertain
I'm sorry, Madam Chair, I want to make sure the respondent knows what the cutoff date is, because that's
the
been the
cut.
recommendation.
Yeah, I'll put
Yeah.
that as part of the motion. So the cutoff date would be February 5th, 2025.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
could I get an actual new up to date list, because a lot of those pictures are mixed in.
Oh,
And
a new
lot of
up-to-date list of what?
The things that actually need to be completed.
You would
'cause
need
it's
to
been some
speak,
stuff done.
you will have to, you would need to speak to your code officer, and she will tell you exactly what you need to do. We don't put you in compliance, she does.
Okay.
So she would be the one to tell you exactly what you need to do. Okay? So you can talk to her after, before, tomorrow, whatever, so you know exactly what needs to be done.
One more
And,
question.
go ahead.
As far as the compliance thing, what's your rules and regulations as far as these privacy fences go?
What is, what's
can
the
go-
question, sir?
Could-
What is he
The
asking?
gentleman asked what the rules are regarding privacy fences, and that's really something that you'll have to work out with staff. The board's going to establish a cutoff date of February 5th, 2025.
Okay, that's fine.
And no promises, but typically if there's good faith efforts made between now and then, even if you don't meet it, staff is usually pretty lenient with its recommendation
Yeah,
at that meeting.
you know, the object of code is to get people into compliance. It's not to fine people or make their
It's-
lives miserable. It's just to get the house back in shape and on
It's
the
just hard.
market
I
or
don't
whatever it
work
needs
here.
to, you know.
I
so-
travel to work, so it's hard for me to just keep coming back and forth. so
But you may
it
have to
be
get a
done.
permit, but we don't write the rules, so
Speak to her and someone else.
you need to ask your code officer what you need to do to come into compliance. We do not put you into compliance as a board,
Okay.
okay? We hear the case, we'll hear your side, but that's kind of like where we are. We decide whether you should get more time or, you know, and if you're making a good faith effort very often, you get some time, but you have to be making a good faith effort, okay? Some, Denver?
To
I'm
answer
sorry,
this
Mr.
question,
Sykes.
go downstairs to permits and licensing,
Yes, sir.
and they can explain fencing to you.
Okay.
Okay, good. All right, the chair will entertain a motion to find respondent non-compliance or respondent come into compliance by the next cutoff date, which is February 5th, 2025, and be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 a day. There's such a motion? Motion, Ms. Marsh, second, Ms. Himes, all in favor say aye. Like sign opposed, motion carries. All right, we're still, thank you. So you know, stay in touch and go downstairs like Mr. Sykes advised you to permits and
Personal
licensing,
number?
okay?
We can get it afterwards.
All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4 more cases we're going to hear from you, and they're all new. They are all compliance or non-compliance. That's it. So it's, we're not here to, normally before we do this whole section, I would tell you that we're not here to fine you today. We're just here to look at the pictures and see whether you're in compliance or not in compliance and decide that matter. We will then decide a time frame for you to come into compliance. And it's mostly got to do, we don't put you into compliance. So you will have to speak to your code officer to get put into compliance. All right, go ahead. This is case, I guess, our case 44, CB 01-25-23, James W. Lane Estate. Respondent present. Okay. Go ahead, Ms. Otani.
This case was opened on September 24th, 2024. A failed generated case for overgrown landscaping, dirt and grime, peeling paint, damaged fascia, and gutters. First notified was received on October 3rd, 2023. Compliance was due on November 3rd, 2023. Last inspection was January 8th, 2025, and the result was non-compliant.
Excuse me, again, my first notice here is says 10/3/24, not 23.
The case was opened on September 24th, 2024, and the first notified was October 3rd, 2024.
You said
You
23.
say 23.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay, have you had contact?
With the son of the estate, yes. So staff recommends a finding of non-compliance with compliance due by next cutoff.
And no one is here for this case. Okay, the chair will entertain a motion to find respondent in compliance or respondent come into compliance by the next cutoff date, February 5th, 2025, or be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. Such a motion?
So,
Motion,
second,
Ms. Marsh, second, Mr. Harrington. All in favor, say aye. Like sign opposed, motion carries. All right, case number 45, CEB 01-25-24, James Lane Estate. Same, just a different case, but pertaining to the same person, the same estate, same, not the same address, however. How are these related?
They're next door to each other.
Next door, okay. Are they attached?
No.
No, they're just two separate houses. Okay, and you've had contact?
With the son, yes, of the estate.
Okay. Yes, are you, is anyone here for this case? Okay. Go ahead.
This case was opened on September 24th, 2024. A field-generated case for overgrown landscaping, dirt and grime, peeling paint, damaged fascia and gutter, outside storage, and dilapidated fence. First notice was received on October 3rd, 2024. Compliance was due November 3rd, 2024. Last inspection was January 8th, 2025, and the result was non-compliance. There has been contact with the son of the estate. Staff recommends a finding of non-compliance with compliance due by next cutoff.
Okay, the chair will entertain a motion on respondent in non-compliance or respondent to come into compliance by the next cutoff date or be returned to the, which is February 5th, 2025, or be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Who is that? Mr. Gonzalez, a second. Mr. Harrington?
Either, whatever.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Case number 46, CEB 01-25-25. Equity Trust Company, FBO IRA number 20179-730 at 453 Pleasant Street. And I have no idea what all those numbers are or what FBO means or IRA or anything. Can you explain any of that to me?
No.
No. Yeah, okay.
That is the official legal name of the owner according to the property records.
Okay,
Whoever owned it put it in an IRA. That's what
I
that.
guess, yeah, I mean, I guess,
Which
okay.
is interesting that we have that listed.
Right. Respondent present? Okay. You had contact?
No.
Okay. Go ahead.
This case was opened on September 23rd, 2024. A field-generated case for outside storage, overgrown landscaping, peeling paint, parking on the grass, and junk vehicle. First notice was received on October 4th, 2024. Compliance was due by November 4th, 2024. Last inspection was January 8th, 2025, and the result was non-compliance. There has been no contact with the owner. Staff recommends a finding of non-compliance with compliance due by next cutoff.
Any questions? Chair will entertain a motion to find respondent in non-compliance and order respondent to come into compliance by the next cutoff date, which is February 5th, 2025, or be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 a day. Is there such a motion?
Second.
All right, motion, Ms. Mars, second, Mr. Gonzalez. All in favor say aye. Like sign opposed, motion carries. Okay, 1, 2, 3, now. All right, so we're done with that page. We have one more case for you? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, this is case number 47, CEB 01-25-26, Burke Family Trust. Legree Burke and Cecil Burke, trustees, at 409 to 415 Walker Avenue. Respondent present? Yes. All right, please come forward and be sworn in if you'd like to speak. Good morning.
Morning.
State your name and address for the record and be sworn in.
Ray McLeod, 955 Magnolia.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand your name.
Ray McLeod.
Mr. Burke is here. This is his contractor.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, Dr. Burke.
Ray McLeod.
Yes. I'm representing the Burke family as the contractor for being
You're
hired to
you're
do
the
work.
contractor?
Yes.
And you have permission to speak for them?
Yes,
For the trust, the Burke family?
Exactly.
And who do we have here coming up?
This is
All right, we need to have you sworn in, state your name and address for the record and be sworn in.
My name is Dr. My name is Dr. Legree Michael Burke Jr., eldest son of Legree Burke Sr. and Cecile J. Burke. My address is 741 Tilton Street, Bronx, New York, 10467.
You raise your hand again? Both of you can raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Just a quick question, if I may.
Go ahead.
Madam Chair. And Dr. Burke, you're the son of one of the trustees. You're authorized to speak on their behalf and to represent them?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
All right. All right, we will hear from our code officer, Ms. Tani. Go ahead.
This case was opened on January 9th, 2024. A failed January case for overgrown landscaping, dirt and grime, peeling paint, trash and debris, damaged front door, no house members, and boarded up windows. First notice was received July 15th, 2024. Compliance was due by August 15th, 2024. Last inspection was January 8th, 2025, and the result was non-compliance. There has been contact with the owners. Staff recommends a finding of non-compliance with compliance due by next cutoff.
Okay, is there something you'd like to tell us?
I
Go ahead, either one of you.
would like to say something to that.
Go ahead.
We have been made progress, since I've been hired.
Uh-huh,
to
good.
take care of the issue.
Great.
Going from the violations, one at a time, right? We
Good.
contracted, signed, sealed, and we have made progress.
Good. That's what we like.
Extreme progress we made.
Good.
On the property.
Okay.
I was thinking you may have had pictures of before and after the show.
Actually, and I'm going to contract that. Let me ask you a question. Was there any way that I could send the pictures that I've taken in addition to what I'm seeing here? Because I thought I heard initially that the case was open in January of 2024. Which
That's
isn't
what
true.
I heard that as
That's
well.
not true, but that's another topic.
It didn't say the case was, well, yes, the case was open. It means they were looking at it.
Right, but I'm
I
just saying,
think
but
that's
that's
what
not-
that
that's not-
means.
that's
It
not
does
the
not mean
documentation
you
that
were
I have.
notified. It says you weren't notified till July.
Right, and again, so again, that's why I want to get clarification.
Right.
Again, I'm a precise person. And I like detail.
Yes.
And I like precision.
Yes,
so
that's
that's
the way
why
it
I'm
should
asking
be.
the question. So to that end, as I'm looking at pictures here, as I said, we started making improvements because I was doing it myself
Mm-hmm.
in as much as August of last year. So what I would like to do is I have probably about 100, 200 pictures of progression that I would like to send. So where do I send that to in order for my contractor to be able to present that and or the attorney?
Go ahead.
When was your last inspection for this?
It was on January 8th.
Of this, of 25?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and this is what it was?
There's pictures.
Okay.
Those are the
Right.
recent pictures.
Right.
She
I'm
said
going
they
to
are
say
the
that in a minute.
recent
Last inspection
pictures.
was January 8th, and it was still not in full compliance.
Correct.
I have a
The
question.
pictures are up.
Okay.
I see them, that's what I was asking.
So
There
could
should
you
be
tell
one
us
more.
without the
Madam Chair, I have a
pictures?
question.
Oh, go ahead.
My question is to the contractor who states that there's been a lot of progress made. So if he could take a look at the notice and let us know what in the notice has been corrected.
Okay, well, I think what we need to establish here, first of all, is that we are not going to put him in compliance into any of these things until the code officer
Well, I understand that, but.
says that. Well, I think he needs to understand that we're not the ones that put you in compliance. It's your code officer. So the pictures actually, I guess, need to be shown to your code officer. And until you're in full compliance with all of these things, then it would be considered still non-compliance. It doesn't mean that we won't give you time to come into compliance. It just means that you're still not in compliance. That's all we're doing today.
I understand.
Okay.
Okay.
So, but you really need to be in touch
Right.
with.
We spoke earlier.
Okay.
And it was in agreement, that I would have it complete by the 5th.
Okay, that's wonderful. That's what we're looking for. Okay. All right, Mr. Gonzalez, are you satisfied with that now?
Yeah.
Okay.
By the 5th, for sure.
Okay. All right, so when you think that you have completed things, please contact your code officer She's the one that is going to put you into compliance.
Understand.
And if she puts you into compliance, you won't need to come back here at all.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
The chair will entertain a motion, no, we haven't ruled, but that's okay, you're fine. The chair will entertain a motion to find respondent in non-compliance or respondent to come into compliance by the next cutoff date, February 5th, 2025, or be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 a day. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Motion, Mr. Gonzalez, second, Ms. Marshall, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Like sign opposed. Okay, now, let me ask you all a question on the board. Do you want to just continue with these new cases, start from the beginning of the new cases? And
Madam
just
Chair, he has one. He has to go also.
Excuse me, you have a case too you need to do. Okay, go ahead, go right ahead.
This is going to be page 7, case number 22, 623 State Street.
Hold on, let me get there. Page 7, 623 State Street. This is case number 22. This is an old case. Well, we're going back to old cases, I guess, okay.
Madam Chair, this is one of those cases where the order that was issued contains the incorrect date, and out of a concern of due process, the recommendation is to amend that order by extending the compliance date to February 5th, 2025.
All right, let me read this case number and let's get this squared away here. Case number 22, CEB 10-24-161, Gloria Dickinson at 623 State Street. Is anyone here for that case? No. Okay. All right, go ahead, Mr. Jones. So what we're doing is, because this was noticed the wrong way,
The order was incorrect.
order was incorrect.
What was incorrect?
The order lists a compliance date of 2024. Of January 2024 instead of January 2025. That's a Scrivener's error, but because the respondent wasn't here at the last case, that could create a potential due process
The
issue.
contractor was here last time, but that is not, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And because of potential due process concern
Right.
with concluding code enforcement, our recommendation is that you amend that order. The order by this board was correct, it was just transcribed incorrectly. That you amend the order to extend the deadline for compliance to February 5th, 2025.
Just as a question, is it in compliance or not?
No, it's not in compliance.
Okay, thank you.
Madam Chair, I motion that we extend the order until the next cutoff.
All right, we have a motion to amend the previous order and allow respondent until February 5th, 2025 to come into compliance or return to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 a day. We have a second from Ms. Marshall. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Now where are we? That's it. Okay, so we've done that. All right, I guess because there's so many because there's so many Zoom calls, let's go back in order to do this, because I don't want to get all these Zoom calls messed up either.
No, I agree, we should go in order.
Well, good luck. A little late for that, but we're going to go back to the lien review, go back to the old cases, and go back to, and then finish up with the new cases, as is our usual procedure. And it's particularly important because there are people that are, that IT has to get on the phone, so changing all the orders around and doing all that is probably not in our best interest for moving the meeting along. So we're going to do the lien review right now. And the lien review is number 1, CEB 07-24-99 Sunrock Capital LLC at 610 Division Street. Okay. Is anyone here for that? Good. Please state your name and address for the record and be sworn in.
My name is Grant Barlow. I live at 15355 Gilligan Court in Winter Garden, Florida.
Will you raise your right hand, sir? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes,
And how are you related to Sunrock Capital, sir?
I'm an owner.
You're an owner of that, so you have permission to speak for the LLC.
Yes.
Okay. All right, why would you like your lien? You get to speak first, and lien reviews,
Okay.
you get to speak first. Why would you like the lien review?
Yeah, this is a property that I purchased it sight unseen, which I shouldn't have done.
Which you should have
Should
done,
not
should
have
not
done.
have
Should
done.
not have done.
Uh-huh.
You know, I was told
Is
that it
this
was
the first time you've ever done that, purchased a property
yeah,
sight unseen?
Yeah, it is.
Mhm.
And I was told that it was tenant occupied, but they were going to be moving out before closing.
Who told you that?
The sellers. The seller.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but you know, it was obviously not. It was occupied, but it was occupied by vagrants that were around that area. So,
Did you have anyone come look at the property at all?
I didn't.
Okay.
I did not. So I looked at it online. So,
Yeah, I said it's a
Yeah.
business model of sorts, but it
it's
doesn't
not. And
always work
it's
out,
not a
does
business
it?
model
Okay.
of sorts. Yeah, it's a way to lose money. So, so I did buy it, you know, and we realized what kind of a mess we were into. We did a lot of work to it. We didn't realize that there were no utilities connected to it, so we actually paid impact fees and connected water and sewer from the street with the city. We you know, replaced the roof. We've done a lot to it. You know,
Well, in order to get a lien review, you have to be in compliance.
Right.
You can't come before us and ask for a lien review if you're not in compliance.
yeah.
So
I mean, and
we're assuming
you
you
know,
got the work done.
bringing it into compliance. You know, this was I've done a lot of construction, a lot of remodels. This was a very, very, very significant, you know, repair that had to be done to this. Just a lot of man hours because of the shape that it was in, and you know, the amount of trips to get vagrants out over and over again, finally getting it on the no trespass list, you know, contractors showing up and leaving because people were sleeping on the front porch. I burned through over a dozen contractors on this property that just went out and said, we're not going to help you on this one. So, you know, that, I think, you know, the biggest problem on this property wasn't that we didn't know how to do it. It was that we couldn't find people who were willing to do it. And that was a major problem for us. And I struggled with it all the way to the
Why
end.
weren't they willing to do it for you?
There's vagrants that camp in the corner lot across
Okay.
like kitty corner to it.
Uh-huh.
And just that area is not that bad. It's really close to here actually. But that street is terrible. That section right there. I think there's a house right next to it that's like a boarding house of some type. Somebody's using it like that. It's a 2-story building. And we've just had a hard time getting anyone to agree to park a truck there, to work there, to do anything at that property. And
Bottom line is, though, that you got all this work done.
we got it done. We're literally set to lose, you know, close to $100,000 on this property. And I don't know how my business is going to stomach it, to be honest with you. So it's devastating. So.
And I'm going to let our board members chime in now and ask questions if they'd like
I'd like
to.
to hear from Ms. Kirk.
All right. What would you like to say, Ms. Kirk?
Good morning, Sarah
What
Kirk.
is the city's position?
Okay, Sarah Kirk, inspector with the city. My credentials are on file. Mr. Barlow, he did maintain contact with me throughout the case. This case was initiated by the police department, Daytona Beach Police Department. It was a squatter issue. Went to the property. Mr. Barlow immediately put it on the no trespass list once I notified him. It was if you show the previous picture, it was an unlivable home. There was, like you said, no water connects, no sewage connection. Now it's livable. You know, it's move-in ready. So that's a nice, thing for the neighborhood. So with that being said, staff has recommended to reduce the lien to $5,000.
You,
Now, this case started back in 11/21/23.
That was first notification.
When did you, all right, let's get the timeline of purchase. When did you buy the house, sir?
Oh, let me go back. I can pull it
Okay.
up exactly. Closed on this property.
Oh my God, that was in 20.
In June of 22.
All right, so that's all right. June of 22, I think.
Yep.
We have paperwork to prove that. And when were you notified by code?
11/21/23 was first notification.
This was after we'd already kicked out multiple batches of squatters.
So
And
from June of 22 to November of 23, what were you doing?
Repeatedly kicking squatters out and meeting with contractors and trying to put a plan together and putting the financing together, to be honest with you, to complete this remodel. We believed we were buying a tenant occupied home that would have been somewhat livable.
So I'm sorry for,
Yeah.
your misinformation.
Also, during that time, the permit for the installation of main water and main sewer was finalized on 11/30/23. So during that time period, that was also being done, and
Okay.
that permit was finalized.
Okay.
appreciate the fact that you fixed up a home and you're gonna make a substantial profit from that home.
Substantial loss.
Don't loss?
Substantial loss.
You paid $10 for the house?
No, I paid $80,000 plus a $20,000 marketing fee to an agency that brought it to us. I'm gonna lose a substantial amount of money, like upwards of $100,000. So.
Spent $100,000 for that without looking.
Yeah.
I'd like to make a motion.
I'm not finished.
He's not, let him finish, and then I'll call on
Anyway,
you.
appreciate that you've done a lot to the property, but to ask for zero reduction, sorry. The city has had to deal with this situation regardless of the problems you had. So I'm inclined to go along with the city's recommendation of $5,000, which is a substantial reduction of $10,000.
Yeah. Any money that I put into this property is going to be a loan that I'll have to carry privately after a closing.
Was that a motion that you made?
That was just a recommendation for.
Wait a minute.
for a
One
bond.
person at a time. Are you finished with your concluded?
I'm
Your
just
comments have
commenting what my
concluded.
comments
Mr. Gonzalez, what would you like to say?
Well, I was ready to make a motion.
Okay.
And the
Okay.
motion is that, in the case of CEBO 724-999 610 Division Street, that we accept the city's recommendation of lowering, the debt to $5,000.
All right.
Second.
There's a motion and from Mr. Gonzalez, second from Ms. Himes on the floor to impose a lien in the amount, to reduce the amount of lien to $5,000, subject to being paid within 30 days, or the fine will revert to the original amount. We have a motion and a second.
I have one more question.
We'll have some more discussion. Go ahead before we vote. Go right ahead, Ms. Marsh.
What do you plan on doing with the property? Are you selling it or renting it out?
I'm trying to sell it. I can't afford to rent it. So.
Any other discussion? All right, it's time for our vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carried. We've reduced it to $5,000, sir.
Thank you.
All right, we are finished with our lien reviews. We will go to our old cases now, or as we call them, continued cases. Means that they have been found in noncompliance and we're moving to the next step. All right, we have a Zoom call. A Zoom person ready? Case number 1, CEB 05-24-71. Gary George and Heidi Robinson from Cincinnati. Good morning. Are you there?
Can you hear me now?
Sound as usual.
Well, I can't, we can't hear you. Can you hear us?
I hear
Shake
you
your head
fine.
yes or no.
Yes,
Yes.
I hear
We
you.
can't hear you.
One
So-
second, please.
Okay. All right, Mr. Gonzalez is leaving at 10 o'clock. Okay, we still have a quorum. We can continue.
Speech. I'm trying to see why it's not.
I still can't hear.
I gotta get some more new equipment.
Yeah, I think my equipment is pretty new, but it should be.
Are we there yet?
Hello, testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Still can't hear me, right? What's it doing? Access, 1 second.
Good morning.
Good morning.
There we
I'm
go.
still,
Okay. We're
you
on.
hear me now?
So,
Thank you.
please,
No, you're not on it.
oh, we're not on? Can you turn it up a little?
That's what I was trying to do. It's,
I don't
for
know
some
whether
reason
it's
I'm,
you or us. I have no idea.
Mr. Gonzalez.
okay.
I did. I noticed that he was not here, but we still have a quorum. so-
System.
Yeah.
Just give me one
it's-
second.
I can hear now. Yeah. Can everyone hear? All right.
Can you hear me fine?
Yes, now, yes. Now we can.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, good.
All right, please state your name and address.
My name is Gary George Robinson. My address is 520 Poinsettia Road, Daytona Beach, Florida. I'm not sure what the zip code is down there.
You're from Cincinnati though, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I am. That's where I'm at right now. I'm
Right.
up here at 77 degree temperature up here, so it's quite chilly.
Wow, that doesn't make any sense to me, but okay.
Will you raise your
Yeah,
right hand?
yeah.
All right, be sworn in.
Will you raise your right hand, sir? Do you
Yes,
swear?
sir. Yes.
Do you swear
Go
or
ahead.
affirm? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right. All right, we'll hear from our code officer, Mr. Wiggins.
Inspector Curtis Wiggins, Code Compliance,
Good morning.
credentials on file. Good morning. Respondent was first notified of violation December the 5th, 2023. Since the November hearing, no progress was made. I've had contact with the owner, and the last inspection was January the 7th, 2025. Staff recommends a fine of $100 a day to a cap of $10,000.
I see the cap at 10,000. Is that a single family owner occupied
Yes.
house?
Yes.
Except he doesn't live there.
No.
But you're not renting it out.
No, it's not in no condition to do anything with right now.
Well, hold on 1 second. I want to make note that Mr. Gonzalez has returned. Okay, go ahead. What would you like to tell us?
Well, I disagree with the no progress has been made. I've been working down in Miami at Canal, well, basically it's off of Lake Okeechobee at the USDA sugarcane research facility for the last 4 or 5 weeks. And I just came back to Cincinnati on last Friday. I left the site at.
I'm not quite sure how this relates to your house being in compliance or non-compliance.
Well, what Inspector Wiggins said was that there's no progress has been made, and
Okay.
I disagree with that.
Well, you
because
may disagree with that, but did you call him and discuss that with him, or did you ask him to go over and inspect the property?
I did not ask him to go over and inspect the property.
Okay,
If he
that's the
inspected it on
only
this,
way you can get into compliance, sir.
but he stated that he inspected it on the 7th, which was 2 days ago.
Yes. Do you have a permit for the
I
work?
have permits. Yes, I do. I do have a permit. Yes, ma'am.
When do you expect to be finished this?
As I've been working on this myself because it similar
But
to
you're
the
not there.
previous,
How do you work on it yourself?
as I stated, I have a job in Miami where basically I come up and work on it during my off days. I've put about 7 days in over the last 3 weeks working on the house myself.
Okay, now, you were first notified in 2023. We're now in 2025. What's the holdup been?
Well, it's just been, well, it was the original notification was due to the previous owner had a violation that Mr. Wiggins was following up on when he cited me for this thing. I had bought the house. I was in the process of cleaning the place up and trying to get things together to see what was going on with it. And kind of like the previous guy, there's a lot more wrong than I expected to find. So I basically started removing the walls, and that's what Inspector Wiggins cited me on. Which, I mean, I'm trying to get to the point where I can get the insulation done. I've been working with contractors. I've installed a new roof. I've installed new windows. I put a lot of money into
Do
this
you
thing.
have permits for all of this?
Yes, ma'am. I have gotten permits every time I've done these different things.
Can you confirm that, Mr. Wiggins?
Yes, he had permits for the windows,
Uh-huh.
which has been finalized. The permit has been finalized.
Okay, window
But the
permits
Interior
finalized.
renovation.
Yes.
That's the one that we're dealing with now.
That is what we're dealing with.
Yeah, and nothing basically has been done.
Is there a permit for that?
Yes.
There is a permit that has been issued. When was
Correct.
that permit issued?
I think around September, October. I have to look at the system.
Okay.
But again, like I said, the last inspection that was done by the building department was like in November, and it did not pass. He could not pass.
What didn't
anything.
pass?
The interior inspection that he wanted to have done,
Okay.
and nothing was able to pass at that point,
Was
according
it
to the
the
building.
work, was it the work he was doing that did
Correct.
not pass?
Yes, the work.
Yes.
Okay.
Excuse me, the reason it did not pass was because it was not complete. What the building inspector stated was that the whole place had to be ready to go before they could pass me on the permit that I had. So I'm basically going to have it completely ready to go before they can, with the plumbing, the electrical.
What do you mean by completely ready to go?
Plumbing,
What does that mean to you?
electrical, and all this stuff has to go. They say it has to all be ready at the time for them to come and inspect it.
Okay.
And it's not done.
And
The
that
plumbing is-
part of it is not done.
The electrical part is nearly complete. The plumbing is nearly complete. It's just a matter of I got to get the final
Okay.
pieces together for it.
Yeah. All right, Ms. Himes?
Mr. Wiggins, what is the city's recommendation again?
$100 a day to a cap of $10,000.
Yeah.
This is basically going to cost. I don't understand this. I mean, I have tried to be in compliance. The original thing he cited me for, I stopped everything I was doing to get that done. Then that was from a previous owner's issue. And now you're trying to hit me for $100 a day? That is ridiculous.
Well,
I'm sorry.
I mean, that's what the city is recommending. We're considering that. You are being cited for no permit for interior renovation. We do not have,
You do have a permit for that.
but it is not completed, and you have to have it completed. The work must be completed before he can put you in compliance, which means the building inspector has, I'm not going to give you advice as to what to do. Have you been in contact with Mr. Wiggins all along?
Yes.
And so you know what the steps are that you need to follow to come into compliance.
I'm getting confusing
From whom?
from the building department, from Mr. Wiggins. I'm getting conflicting things as I've been going through this process. But I mean, it's my goal to make this a livable house for my family, and a place for us to enjoy our time off and stuff. And it's just because this has become a nightmare, to be honest about it, because it just seems like all I'm doing is fighting everybody. I don't understand this. All I'm trying to do is get a house a position where it can be basically occupied. And it just feels like all I hear is, oh, we want to fine you for
I'm
this or
going
for
to
that.
let me ask you one more question. When will
All
you
right.
have the work completed? Or
I'm working on it. I really don't
no,
know.
that's not, I mean, when is a specific, I don't need I mean, it doesn't, I don't need date, time, and hour, but I would like an idea of when you think you're going to have this work done. You can't
If you're
just
talking-
say,
if
well,
you're
I'll get
talking
it
about-
done when I get it done.
If you're talking about when is the interior going to be completed?
When
What
will
you
the
have on this?
permit-
Okay. I was hoping to make more progress than I did. It's not going as fast as I would like it to. I would say that, I'm still, like I told Inspector Wiggins before, I don't think I'll be done by this time. I actually told you, the board, the same thing. It's very difficult for me to get my stuff done out here. But you start putting fines on me, all you're gonna do is slow me down even more, because you're gonna remove what money I have to work with. This is what is very confusing to me.
Madam Chair, a motion that we accept the city's recommendation.
Second.
$100 a day is way.
Excuse me, we can't give you advice as to how to proceed. We can tell you, you need to stay in touch with the building department and Mr. Wiggins, and they can do that for you. We cannot do that. At this point, I have a board member who has made a motion to impose a fine of $100 per day.
Per day?
effective today, and continue until compliance is achieved or reaches the maximum of $10,000. And that motion was seconded by Mr. Gonzalez. Is there? And the motion was made by Mrs. Himes. Is there any more discussion from the board? I think it would behoove you to, oh, I'm not going to say anything because you need to talk.
What I'm trying to say is what you're basically saying is you're going to charge me $10,000 because I don't think I can get done. What is it? $100 a day? That's 10 days is 1,000. So you're saying that, I mean, this
Been going on since the 2023,
since November of 23, right? That's almost 24. I agree, it's a long time,
right.
but it's also a long time for me trying to get this work done.
There is a motion, it's been.
There is a
seconded.
motion and a second on the floor that, and I think everybody's had their say. Is the city changing their position in any way? Okay. We have a motion and a second. Let's have a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries. We have issued a
So
fine.
do I have any appeal process I can go through? This is not, I am totally shocked here.
Well, you may
Lien
be
review.
shocked, but you need to talk to the building department. You need to talk to your code inspector. If this comes into compliance and you get it into compliance, you may come back and ask us for a lien review. A lien review is when we consider removing the lien, lessening the amount of the lien that we placed on you, if you haven't paid it. But you have to be in compliance to do that. But we are not the people you come to for advice on the laws of the city. You will have to, once again, when was the last time you talked to the building department?
I believe it was before the last
Okay,
hearing.
last meeting, yeah, that was in November, okay. All right, so we've made our motion, we've made our ruling. This case is finished, and we're going to move on.
Mr. Robinson did ask about appeals, and he has a
Go
right
ahead.
to appeal the circuit court. if he
Yes,
chooses.
that's true. You can appeal to a circuit court.
Or you can try to work things out with your inspector and demonstrate that this project is ultimately going to be done, and that you have a timeline that he can look to, and that can be taken into consideration later on.
Under a lien review
Under a
or
lien
under
review.
a fine, correct? Yeah.
That's correct.
Okay. All right.
All right, thank you, I guess.
All right, now, case number 2 is CEB 1024-170. Carol Zaranana at 834 Marion, Mr. Klieg. And first of all, is there anyone here? Okay, Mr.
Madam
Klieg.
Chair, this is one of those cases where the order that was issued reflects an incorrect date, compliance date of January 2024. Right, so our recommendation is that you amend that order, extend the compliance deadline to February 5th, 2025.
Is that satisfactory?
What's that?
This is what the city feels they need to do at this point. Okay. Chair will entertain a motion to amend the previous order of non-compliance and extend the date until February 5th, 2025 to come into compliance or be returned to a subsequent meeting for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion, Ms. Marsh, second, Mr. Gonzalez. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries. Boy, oh boy. All right, we are now on case number 3. CB 09-24-151, John Alexander and Geneva Joe at 628 South Seagrave. Respondent present? Yes, no, maybe? No, okay. So no show of you. Good morning.
Good morning. Mariah Quinn, Inspector with the City of Daytona Beach. The respondent was first notified December 14th, 2023. Since the last hearing, no progress has been made, and there has been no contact. Staff recommends an imposition of a fine of $100 a day with a cap of $15,000.
Yeah, we didn't have a chance to confer. My apologies, Madam Chair. This is another case in which the order transcribed was incorrect. We're going to change our recommendation so that the recommendation is to amend the prior order, extend the date of compliance to next cutoff date.
Wow. Okay. Are there any cases that we can hear?
Yes.
Ah, good. I'm glad to hear that.
And you need to hear these cases in order to
Yes, I know we
to
do.
extend the
I know we do,
Yeah.
but it's just kind of something that I don't know whether it should have been taken care of administratively or not. But I guess you're right. We have to hear them since they're on our agenda. Chair will entertain a motion to amend the previous order of noncompliance and allow a respondent to continue the case until, well, the city to continue the case until February 5th, 2025 to come into compliance and be returned to a subsequent meeting for consideration of fine of up to $1,000 a day. Is there such a motion?
So move.
Oh, that was Mr. Gonzalez. Is there a second? Second, Ms. Marsh. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Like sign opposed. Motion carries. All right, so we did case 4, 5, 6. Case 7 is a Zoom call. Mr. Stenson, good morning. Do we have the Zoom person there? This is case number 7. CEB 01-24-19, Nicole McErlin and Miguel Pagan from New Jersey. Good morning.
Good morning and Happy New Year.
Thank you. Same to you.
Thank you.
Okay, state your name and address for the record and be sworn in, please.
Nicole Mackerline, 992 Broadway, Norwood, New Jersey.
Can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to provide the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Okay,
Madam
we'll
Chair,
hear from.
Yeah, if I
Go ahead.
can, I know this is a little bit out of procedure, but I do want to ask the respondent a question
Go ahead.
or two. Ma'am, were you in attendance at the last
Yes.
hearing on this case?
Yes, sir.
And you were present by Zoom when the board issued its order requiring compliance?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Mhm. All right, Mr. Stenson, what would you like to tell us?
Good morning, John Stinson, Code Inspector of the City, and qualifications are on file. This respondent was first notified 7 August 2023. I have been in constant contact with the property owner. There have been a few setbacks. Like I said, the case was open since August 23. There were insurance company delays, along with 2 hurricanes. There has been contact. The property is not occupied. There has been progress. Permits for the property were issued on November 18th, 2024. The windows are in the process of being replaced. And the city's recommending to amend this case to the February cutoff.
Okay, this is getting to be long and drawn out, and I realize that you have had real insurance. We all realize that why we have given you so much time is because we realize you have had a good deal of problem with the insurance company. I did have a question. Have any more funds been released to you?
Yes, based on some additional progress, we did have some more funds released and they have been earmarked for the exterior contractor. That permit was also granted. So I did put in the permit for the vinyl siding, the soffit and the gutters. I did get the color approved by the restoration department. The siding has been ordered. It has not arrived yet. It comes in from Canada. I touched base with my contractor earlier this week. Originally, and it's what I told the board in December, they were hoping to do the installation mid to end January. The vinyl siding has not arrived yet, and he told me that once it arrives, he'll put me back on the calendar. Right now, it's looking like it's going to be mid-February because it has not actually arrived. But the permits are granted and it's paid for.
Okay, that's good. There's some progress. At one point, I think at the last meeting, your husband was going to come down. Did he ever come down to work on the house? Was that something that was going to happen, or was that before? I mean,
No. Well, he actually has gone down a couple times. He was back down in December. You can see from the photos that additional work was done actually by him. We did fix all of the issues with the front porch. All of the windows have been installed and the front door has been installed. I just haven't put in for an inspection because we're doing the additional work, but every door and window that I put in for a permit is installed.
Okay.
And the front porch was fixed. We fixed the issues with the porch. It's all been painted, even though the posts are going to be capped in the vinyl when the exterior contractor comes, but all that work was done by my husband. So he did come down for that.
Good. What is your recommendation, Mr. Sensen?
We'd like to amend this case to the February cutoff.
Do I have comments from the board?
Is there a reason we couldn't amend it to the March cutoff? I mean, it doesn't,
We can.
I mean.
There's no problem with that.
The work is being done, the stuff is ordered.
It
takes
is.
forever to get everything.
You would have put that in motion.
So I will make a motion to amend your recommendation.
To amend the previous order
recommendation.
and amend it to, the date would be March 5th.
Second.
To come into compliance or be returned to a subsequent meeting for consideration of fine of up to $1,000 per day. They have faithfully come to every single meeting by Zoom or otherwise. They stay in touch with Mr. Stenson, so I know that there were huge insurance issues with this, but there has been progress.
Yes.
So, okay, and good progress, not just a little bit here and a little bit there. Yeah, and now you do have the funds to finish the work.
I do have the funds to finish the vinyl siding, the soffit and the gutters. There are even more funds that will be released once that exterior work is done. I
What
believe,
will those funds be for?
I haven't started the inside of the house. So
You haven't
Wha-
what? I'm sorry.
I haven't really started the inside of the house. It has been,
Oh,
it has been gutted, but there was also interior damage when the windows were blown out. So I'm trying to get the exterior done to get in compliance with Daytona and fix my compliance case, and then I'll worry about the interior. So my priority has been
okay,
getting these
just
violations.
to deal with the issues that are in front of us. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, did we have a motion? I'm sorry. Who made the motion?
I did.
Mr. Harrington made the motion, Ms. Himes the second. All in favor to extend this till the 5th of March. To amend it till the 5th of March. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you all. Have a great day.
You too.
You too.
Thank you.
Case number 8. Wait a minute. Case number 8, CB 06-24-93, Matthew Michaels. Mr. Michaels here? No? Okay. All right, go ahead.
Madam Chair, this is another one of those where the order,
Okay.
by virtue of a Scrivener's error, provided a 2024 compliance date. Staff's recommendation is to amend that order and extend compliance until the next cutoff date.
All right, Chair will entertain a motion to amend the previous order of noncompliance and allow respondent to continue until February 5th, 2025, to come into compliance and be returned to a subsequent meeting.
So move.
All right. Motion from Ms. Himes, second.
Second.
Second from Ms. Marshall. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries.
I have a question for the attorney about
Go ahead.
the cases.
Go right ahead, sir.
So, actually, you're talking about a technicality in the dates. Is that correct?
Actually, what we're talking
Due
about,
process.
depending upon the context, is
Right.
the due process rights of the applicant. And if the code case were to go forward in the event of noncompliance, and we
Right.
were, say, for example, taken up on appeal, or alternatively, recording a lien that we would then try to foreclose on, the court in those cases would bring up those due process issues.
Right.
And
So
so
I-
what we ultimately want
Yeah.
is enforcement and compliance.
Correct.
We think we should
Right.
take this.
Right,
step.
yeah, sure, sure. So it has to be that specific date, or is there a reasonable window?
It has to be proper notice.
but can't be no.
The due process issue arose because there wasn't notice given, so it would have to be the date of the hearing.
Okay.
Yeah, it does have to be date specific.
Right, okay.
So how do we avoid this issue in the future?
Well, these were clerical errors. Presumably, staff would review their procedure to avoid those in the future.
Good, good, that would be good.
Yeah.
Next case is what?
Next case. Case number 9, CB 07-24-129, Coast to Coast Promotion Marketing Company. Good morning. Please state your name and address.
Daniel Prieto, 224 Zelda, Daytona Beach, Florida.
So you are, how are you related to the marketing LLC?
I'm the owner.
You're the owner and you live in Ormond, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
So you've been sworn?
No.
Would you please state your name and, yeah, be sworn in.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
And Madam Chair, if I can, sir, you were at the November 21st,
He was.
2024
Yeah.
Code Board hearing.
He
We need
was.
him to testify to that, please, Madam. Thank you.
Okay.
And at that meeting, you were present when the board gave you a compliance deadline of January 2nd, 2025?
Yes.
Okay, all right, thank you.
So can we proceed legally with this case?
We can.
Okay. All right, go ahead, Mr. Stenson.
Good morning. John Stenson, Code Inspector with the city, and qualifications on file. This respondent was first notified on 22 April 2024. They were cited for unpermitted property renovations. They installed a front and rear porch, along with other issues on the property. The permit was issued on 9 September 2024. There have been 2 partial inspections. I have been in contact with this owner. The property is not occupied. There has been some progress. However, work does continue on the property. As of right now, city is recommending imposition of a fine of $500 a day to be capped at $15,000.
$500 a day is that delivering a message? What is the message?
Well, it looks like it.
Finish it.
I need to ask a question. Unpermitted property renovations, do we have all the permits in place yet, Mr. Stenson?
The permits are active, yes.
So all the permits that are needed are active,
That's correct.
but they are not completed.
They are not completed. The city would like to make a correction on that.
What?
I'd like to go ahead and amend this case one last time to the February cutoff.
Let me ask you a question. There was something about a survey. Did they need a survey for anything?
Yeah, I had to get surveyed to get plans.
Okay.
That took forever, so.
Okay.
And then I
That was
did-
part of the big holdup, wasn't
Well,
it?
what happened was the front porch and the rear porch is what stopped me. I passed it. I had to get plans for that. And then they did a walkthrough last month.
Mhm.
And so I was advised to get an engineer. And now I'm getting an engineer in 2 weeks to get a letter so we can get a final inspection. I should be in compliance by next month.
Oh, good. That's wonderful. That's what we want. Okay, and the city's agreed to give you the extra time. So,
Did I hear Mr. Simpson correctly when he said this is the last time extension?
Yes, ma'am.
and you heard that.
I'm fine with that.
Okay. Chair will entertain a motion to amend the previous order of noncompliance law respondent until February 5th, 2025 to come into compliance or return to a subsequent meeting for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 a day. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Motion, Ms. Hodge.
Second.
Second. Mr. Harrington, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, case number 10. CB 07-24-97, Norma Arndt. This is a Zoom call. Do we have at 829 North Grandview. Is that person available?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
Please state your name and address for the record and be sworn in.
The Florida address?
Give us your address. We have
Norma
the
Arndt.
property address at 829 North Grandview. Go ahead.
Okay. Norma Arndt, 11415 Hosford Road, Chardon, Ohio.
Be sworn in, please.
Will you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to hear from Mr. Stenson and then we'll let you speak if you need to.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So, yeah, go ahead. Ms. Diaz has some questions for the
Okay.
respondent.
Ma'am, how are you today? I just wanted to confirm that you were present at the last hearing.
Yes.
Do you recall the order given to be in compliance by January 2nd, 2025?
There was some problems because I actually ended up receiving a lien and a fine, although that's not what was said, and that got reversed.
Do you recall the order date of January 2nd, 2025?
Yes.
Thank you.
So just for the benefit of the board, after
Yes,
the
please.
hearing, an order was erroneously issued imposing a fine. That order was withdrawn. However, you did issue an order. The respondent was here at the prior meeting. The respondent has acknowledged that she was here and received that order, and it's that order that we are following up on today. The order that was issued erroneously has been rescinded, and in our view, we don't believe that it has any more relevance to this case.
All right, so if there's no relevance, we don't need to know what it is and we're just
wanted to
moving
get
forward.
that on the record for you, Madam
Okay,
Chair.
thank you. Okay. All right, we'll hear from Mr. Stenson. Go ahead, Mr. Stenson.
Yes, this respondent was first notified on 3 April 2024. I have been in contact with her. The property is not occupied at the time. There has been quite a bit of progress. The garage has been demolished. The landscaping is being maintained. The roofing has been repaired. And the only thing that's left is a front porch needs to be painted stucco. City is recommending to amend this to the February cutoff.
All right, so the city's recommending that we give you till next month to get this work finished and that you have made a lot of progress. Will next month do this for you?
I don't know what
What-
happened. I came down, I took your advice and fired the contractor. I came down.
I don't know that we issued that advice, but go
No,
ahead.
well, someone said that contractor's no good.
Okay.
So I came down, I did get the permits. My husband and I demolished the garage. I have scraped and redone everything. The only thing that I know left to do is repainting the ceiling. I scraped it. There's no peeling paint. I scraped for 2.5 days, but I couldn't repaint because that's damaged from the roof leak. Jared Biley from Florida 5-Star Roofing is under contract. Monday, the 6th, just a couple days ago, the insurance adjuster came to view the roof and the damage that's done to the ceiling and the damage that's done to the ceilings inside. They said that it's normally 7 to 10 days, but because of Hurricane Milton, which is this new damage to the roof, it may take 2 weeks before they come back. Then I already have this roofer under contract. As soon as that's done, they said their turnaround time is about 1.5 to 2 weeks to get the roof done. So we're looking at somewhere between 3.5 and 6.5 weeks, depending on how they do that. And there's nothing I can do. I cannot do the roof myself,
I
but we
understand.
have the
Okay,
contract.
That's understandable. Mr. Stenson, you said that the only thing that needed to be done was the painting of the front porch. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Does the roof need to be done before the painting's done?
It's the ceiling. It's the
Well, there is
ceiling.
damaged roof on there.
Okay,
Yeah.
but it's not, the porch has been painted. The porch has been completely repainted. If you look, there's no peeling paint anywhere except if you look up under into the ceiling of the porch,
Mhm.
I
Okay,
scraped
I
all
see
of that.
I see that, yeah.
And that's going to be, they have to replace it because that's water damage.
Yeah.
And I wasn't allowed to repaint that because the
Okay.
insurance adjuster had to see, but I scraped it all, so there's no peeling bits.
Okay.
But
We appreciate that you're making progress on this.
they're gonna replace that, so. Or repaint it or whatever they have to do.
All right, so your recommendation, Mr. Stenson, is what?
We'd like to recommend to amend this case to the March cutoff.
March cutoff. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, the city's made a recommendation to amend the previous order of noncompliance and allow respondent until March 5th, 2025 to come into compliance or be returned to the board for subsequent meeting. To determine a fine of up to $1,000 a day. All right, we have a motion from Ms. Himes, a second from Ms. Marshall. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Okay, we've given you now till March 5th to get this done. And thank you for making the progress.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, now, we have another Zoom call, case number 11. CEB 04-24-58, Leroy and Anthony Gadsden. This is another Zoom call. Good morning. Good morning. Can you hear us?
Good morning. Yes, ma'am. I had to unmute. God bless you and Happy New Year, everybody.
Thank you. Same to you. And please state your name and address for the record and be sworn in.
Edith L. Gadsden, 319 Southgate Drive, Locust Grove, Georgia, 30248. Representing my brother Leroy Gadsden at 526 Cannon Street, Daytona Beach, 32114.
And where are you from? What is your address?
My address is 319 Southgate Drive, Locust Grove, Georgia. That's where I live.
Yeah.
I'm representing yes, ma'am.
And you have permission to represent Leroy and Anthony at 526 Cannon Street?
Yes.
Do they live there?
No, ma'am. I have power of attorney.
Oh, you have power of attorney. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, we're gonna hear from Mr. Garcia. Good
Before
morning.
that, Madam Chair, she needs to be sworn in.
Oh, yes, please be sworn in. Sorry.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Good morning, Inspector Garcia, credentials
Good
on file
morning.
with the city. The respondent was first notified of all violations on September 1st, 2023. Since the last hearing, I spoke to Ms. Gadsden yesterday, January 8, 2025. The property is not occupied. No progress has been made except that I did speak to Bill Orender, which on December 24th, 2024, which is part of the redevelopment housing program. He advised me that the owner's still in the program and that they're waiting on the purchase of order of approval. So that's the only holdup. Staff's recommending of amending to the April cutoff.
Are there any letters that we have that would prove that you've applied, not applied? Do you have anything like that?
Said he just spoke to them.
You just spoke to them.
His email, I got.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Does it state there how long they've been on the program?
May I make a comment?
And wait, let me read this and then I'll certainly will call on you. Okay, thank you. That's what I'll just read
Chair.
this. At the current moment, I am awaiting a purchase order approval to begin roofing on 526 Cannon. Leroy Gadsden is still active on our rehab list for home rehab, but still has a bit of a wait.
Madam Chair, if you
Yes,
could, if you
sir.
could just read in who the memo was from and the date, so
Okay.
that if the respondent ever wanted to
Yes.
have a copy of
All
that or
right,
know what it
this
was,
is
identify it.
from William Orender. Who is Mr. Orender is Redevelopment and Neighborhood Services of Daytona Beach. To Mr. Daniel Garcia, and the date is December 24th, 2024. So that's been read into the record.
Thank you. So,
Okay, go ahead.
Madam Chair,
Okay.
this essentially means that it's on the city's
Right, rehab program.
watch now, and we're
Right.
having to wait on a purchase order.
Well, what does that mean? It's on the city's list, are they?
The city has a number of
Okay.
grantees that it has in this program, and they're in a queue.
Okay,
And we
and I'm
also work with
asking
the
you,
number-
where are they in the queue and how many people a year do they? Thing?
About 200.
Because if there's a waiting list of,
correct.
there's 200 people and they're in a queue and, okay, thank you.
Now, what we've been doing with these cases, because there are so many people in the queue, is not bringing them back every month. We've been giving them 6 months, maybe things will catch up just to, so we keep up with the case. Because these people don't need to come back every month and tell us the same story, and the city doesn't need to tell us the same story.
Correct, which is why I'm now asking for the April cutoff.
April cutoff.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, what would you like to say, Ms. Edith?
Yes, ma'am. Since the date that was given, the
Uh-huh.
purchase order has been completed. JM Residential Services have been contracted, and I'll be sending them the final paperwork that they need. And I've been told that the roof should be complete within the next 2 weeks.
Oh, good.
Yes, ma'am.
Terrific. All right, so the April cutoff, let me see what that date is.
4/2/25.
4/2/25. All right. Chair will entertain a motion to amend previous order of non-compliance and allow respondent until April 2nd, 2025 to come into compliance and return to a subsequent meeting for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. Such a motion?
So moved.
Motion, Mr. Gonzalez, second times, all in favor, say aye. Like sign opposed, motion carries. Thank you. We've given you till April before you have to come back.
Okay, and may I make a statement, Madam
ahead.
Chair, to the board? Okay, first, I want to say thank you. I don't know if you remember, but the last time I attended the meeting, you showed concern over the wait time, and it showed your heart for the residents, and I appreciate that. And you
Alright.
inspired me. As a result, you also expressed that maybe the board could advocate to city officials and councilmen for the funding that would be needed. And you inspired me to reach out to Ken Thomas, Director of the Neighborhood and Redevelopment Services. And I applaud Mr. Thomas when I reached out to him and spoke. His concern, my concern was already his concern. And he said, I've already gotten together with my team. A meeting is scheduled within the next week. He said, call me back in a couple of weeks. Since then, they put in a plan to address smaller projects so that more residents will be served.
Wonderful.
So I want to thank you. I thank Mr. Thomas.
Well,
And thank you
for
all for your
following through.
concern. Yes, ma'am, that you really do care about the residents. And that's been such a blessing for me, and I
Thank you.
appreciate it. And I
Okay,
want to
we-
thank Madam Secretary for her due diligence and always making sure that those that need to be on the Zoom have the right link and the information that's needed to move forward. So you all have a blessed and prosperous 2025.
Right.
And thank you so
you
much.
too.
Okay,
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, number 12, CEB 10-24-163, Sophie Delanoy.
Madam Chair, this is another one of those cases where due to a Scrivener's error, your order, which was valid, wasn't correctly transcribed, however, it creates a due process issue. So our recommendation is that you amend your previous order, extend the
Okay.
date for compliance to the February cutoff.
Such a motion?
So moved.
Motion, Ms. Himes, second. Second, Ms. Marsh, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Case number 13, CEB. Now, I do want to make note that the respondent was not present, is that correct? Okay. Just want to make that note. Case number 13, CEB, 1024-164, Jara Chen Yuan at 723 White Street.
Madam Chair, do we know if the respondent is present?
Is the respondent present? No show.
So, Madam Chair, staff recommends that that your prior order be amended to extend to the February 5th.
All right, the city's, okay. City's recommending that we,
Okay, is this one also one that was?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
yes, this is another
So moved.
of the same.
Gee, that's a lot of errors.
So moved. Okay, Ms. Rose.
Isn't it?
They're all the same, it seems to be all the same error.
Right.
I agree.
A lot of errors. of the
Yeah,
same
but we
error.
have to do it legally to give these
Yes.
people due
Yes.
process. So we have to go through this process
Right.
so that the respondents get due process.
And we have to be more careful in the future.
Well, and that I would go without saying. The chair will entertain a motion to amend the previous order of noncompliance and allow respondent until February 5th, 2025 to come into compliance or be returned.
I did, and she seconded.
Okay, so we have a motion from Ms. Himes and second from Ms. Marshall. In favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Let's see, now where are we? Case number 13? No, case number 14. CEB 07-21-223, Tracy Smith. This one goes back to 2020. I think I need some review here. What's going on with this case?
Last year, the first year, she came in and stated that her roof was finished.
Right, the roof has been
All right,
finished.
well, let's, first of all, is Ms. Smith here? No, okay, go ahead. Go
Okay,
ahead, Ms. Kirk.
Okay, thank you. First notification, 8/4/2020. Since the last hearing, I have spoke with Mr. Orrender in Community Development and Housing with the City of Daytona Beach. He has stated that this property, this is on the city's waiting list, as a reminder. He stated that this property is going to be worked on within the next few rehabs. So with that, I'd like to ask to amend to the April cutoff for compliance.
Now, do you have the same type of letter that we had before? Has it been entered into the record?
I'm not sure what you're referring to.
She's talking about the.
There,
the
so did the city send a letter to, the rehab department send a letter to the code department saying that this was on the city wait list? And
Not that I'm aware of. I spoke, well, like I said, I just spoke with Mr.
But we don't
Arrender.
have any
He
paperwork.
verified it with me.
You have a statement by city representatives.
But we do-
You have
okay.
a statement by city representatives that the city has the project
Okay.
loaded up and ready. to
All
go.
right, so we do have that statement. Okay.
You have
What-
the statement, but it's not in writing. Is there
Right.
Some reason, since we're so concerned with technicalities, that couldn't be done in writing? Because we've heard this statements for, not this particular one, for years.
I can certainly request that next time for you.
Right.
Yes.
if
I
needed.
would-
That'd be good. I
Okay.
think
that would-
these things need to be in the record
He had one. He said
rather
that
than
he
just a
had
phone
one.
call. That they're on the list. There needs to be
Mr.
something.
Garcia showed us that he had.
He
asked
did,
for
Mr.
one.
Garcia did. That's why I was asking if she had that.
Yeah.
You have sworn testimony from
And
the-
we do have sworn testimony, which,
Inspector.
yes, correct. So that will suffice, but it might, maybe it would be better if we, in every instance, had written paperwork just to follow.
I think
Just a
so. We have to,
suggestion.
we have to make an issue, and we're technically required to have certain things. Let's be technical with everything.
All right. Chair will entertain a motion to amend the previous order of noncompliance and allow respondent until April 2nd, 2025 to come into compliance or be returned to a subsequent meeting for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. Motion?
So moved.
Motion, Ms. Himes, second, Ms. Marshall. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. All right, we're gonna I think we're gonna push through this because we've done so many of the new cases that I think we're just going to push right through this and see how it goes. So we'll be done before noon anyway. Case number 15, CEB 04-20-84, Larry Sanders. Mr. Sanders, respondent present?
He was.
He was?
He had to leave.
I don't, okay, well, he's not here
These
now.
phony ones.
Why don't you skip this one for now and come back to it?
No, Miss Kurt.
He was here, he had to leave,
Okay.
unfortunately.
Okay.
Yep, he's not coming back.
Okay. All right, so we'll hear the case. Go ahead.
Okay. This first
This is
notification.
2019.
Okay.
Okay.
First notification was 8/16/2019. Mr. Sanders has been on the waiting list with the city since 8/10 of 2020. I have spoke since the last hearing. I have spoke with Mr. Orender in the Community Development Housing Program with the city. He stated this case is further down on the city's waiting list and it will require reconstruction. Staff would like to ask to amend to the April cutoff for compliance.
Look at these pictures. Someone living there now?
Yes, Mr. Sanders lives there.
Mr. Sanders lives there. And what do we know what that means? Requires reconstruction? That seems
I
pretty
believe it's going to be a
broad.
rebuild.
They're gonna build him another house.
Does that, a rebuild, that means this house gets torn down?
Right, so once the permit for the demolition is final, then I can close the case.
And we should have that demo permit by April?
I'm just kicking it down the road 3 months. The only information I got is that he is further down the list than the previous one.
Yes.
So I don't know if it will be April, but
Okay. Chair will entertain a motion to amend the previous order of noncompliance law respondent until April 2nd, 2025 to come into compliance and return to a subsequent meeting for consideration of fine of up to $1,000 per day.
So moved.
Second.
Motion, Mr. Gonzalez, second, Ms. Himes, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed,
No.
motion carried. Like sign opposed is 1. So the motion still carries. 1, 2, 3, 4 to 1. Case number 16, CEB 02-24-35, Kelvin Lee and Anthony DeWilliams.
Madam Chair, this is a
As the
situation where
person,
the,
we have someone here. We have a respondent.
once he's sworn, I have a question or two.
Yes, Go ahead. State your name and address for the record, sir, and be sworn in.
Bill?
Be sworn in.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony about the provided is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, go right ahead.
Sir, were you in attendance at the most recent code meeting?
The last one I wasn't, no, sir. But I haven't previously, I've been attended.
Okay, are you aware that at the last meeting, the board issued an order requiring you to come into compliance by January 2nd, 2025?
Yes, we were trying to, I was waiting for now just the FNL to come out, Connect Power.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
So can we proceed with this case then?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
okay.
Go right ahead, Ms. Kirk. We'll let you talk in a minute, sir.
Yes.
Okay. First notification was on 7/19 of 2022. Since the last hearing, I have had contact with Mr. Lee. He has maintained contact with me regularly. All the violations that were cited have actually been corrected. We're just waiting on the permit to be finalized. At this point, it's just the waiting on FPL to come out so they can sign off, and then the electrical will be finalized. So with that, I'd like to ask to amend to the next cutoff for compliance.
Chair, would you like to say anything? Sounds like everything's just about there, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
We're getting
good.
there.
That's good.
We're getting there.
Good. Chair will
Appreciate
entertain
you guys
motion
bearing
to
with
amend previous order of non-compliance law respondent until February 5th, 2025 to come into compliance, be returned to a subsequent meeting for consideration of fine of up to $1,000 a day. Such a motion?
So moved.
Motion, Ms. Himes, second. Second, Mr. Gonzalez. All in favor, say aye. Like sign opposed. Motion carries. Good. Thank you for
Okay.
doing all that.
And thank you for bearing with us.
Mr. Lee for doing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Usually
Yes,
come
ma'am.
in.
Yep.
Thank you guys again.
Okay, thanks for coming. All right. Case number 17, CEB 05-24-83, Ramella INT Corporation at 1144 Australia Avenue. Respondent present? Good. State your name and address for, thank you for coming. State your name and address for the record and be sworn in.
Robert Vargas.
Robert who?
Vargas.
Okay. Be sworn in. I
45 Ocean Avenue, Port Orange.
Can you spell your last name for me again?
Vargas, V as in Victor.
Vargas. Okay, got it.
Wait, now will you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you.
What is your relation to Ramella INT?
I like a caretaker. I help him, with the projects in here.
You're the caretaker?
Yeah.
Do you have
The in charge is actually Cecil from Sam's Constructions, but he's in the hospital today, and that's why I come.
Is he authorized to speak?
But you're authorized to speak for him
Yeah.
today.
Yes.
Sir, if I may,
Go ahead.
Were you in attendance at the most recent
No.
code meeting on this case? And
Last year I was in once. But Cecil is the one he come all the time.
Okay.
I come here when it's necessary.
Okay. Madam Chair, based on the...
In my notes, I have that there was some contact, but that there was no one present here.
Madam Chair, staff recommends that you amend your
Yeah.
order from the last meeting to extend compliance to the February 5th cutoff.
Okay. Made progress, roof done, demo permit. Okay. So we're going to, what?
I'll wait.
Okay, I think we're going to just give you an extra month to take care of your due process and to make sure that you're notified correct, that the notification's all correct and.
Okay.
Okay, Chair will entertain a motion in previous order of non-compliance allow respondent until February 5th, 2025 to come into compliance, be returned to the board for consideration of fine of up to $1,000 a day. Such a motion?
So moved.
Motion, Mr. Gonzalez, second. Ms. Himes, all in favor, say aye. Like sign opposed, motion carries. All right. Well. Case number 18. 06, this is a Zoom call. 06-24-92, Keep Investment Inc. At El Dorado. Yes, sir. Who's that?
I have a respondent for 18.
No respondent?
Not a Zoom one, no.
Okay. There is no respondent for this case, CEB 06-24-92. Ms. Kirk, go right ahead.
Madam Chair, if I may, staff has the same recommendation on this case, that you amend your prior order and extend compliance to the February 5th cutoff.
Chair will entertain a motion that the previous order of non-compliance law respondent until February 25th to come into compliance be returned to subsequent meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, the motion was,
I moved.
Okay, motion was Ms. Hyman, second was Ms. Marshall. All in favor, say aye. Like sign opposed, motion carries.
5-0.
5-0, yes. Case number 19, CEB 09-24-146, Barbara Reed at Lockhart Street. Respondent present? Okay.
Madam Chair, staff recommends
Okay.
that the board amend the order previously issued and extend compliance till February 5th.
Chair will entertain a motion to amend previous order of non-compliance, allow respondent until February 5th, 2025 to go into compliance, be returned to subsequent meeting for consideration for fine of up to $1,000 per day or till compliance is achieved. Such a motion.
So moved.
Motion, Ms. Marsh. Second, Ms. Himes. Is there any way to do all these cases at one time, or we have to do each one because of due process?
You only have 2 of these left.
2. Okay.
I think 2.
Okay.
3, excuse me. And I think we need to do them individually.
Yeah, just because it's due process, we probably do. All right, case number 20, CEB 09-24-156, Andrew Phillips at Loomis. Anyone present? Respondent present for this case?
Gentleman
All
over
right,
there.
good. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Okay. Please state your name and address for the record.
Andrew Phillips, 625 Loomis Avenue, Daytona Beach, Florida, 32114.
Okay. That's where you live there?
Yes.
Okay. Be sworn in, please.
Will you raise your
By
right hand?
Secretary.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to hear from Ms. Kirk.
Actually, I do have a couple of background questions for the gentleman, please.
All right, go right ahead.
Sir, are you aware that at the November Code Board meeting, the board issued an order requiring you to come into compliance by January 2nd, 2025?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. The first notification was 8/25 of 2023. Since the last hearing, Mr. Phillips has been in contact with me. He has maintained contact with me. There has been quite a bit of progress. If you can see, this is the beginning stages right here at this picture. And now this was yesterday, January 8th, 2025. So there's been quite a bit of progress. We'd like to ask to amend 1 more month for compliance for the February cutoff.
This is on Loomis, right?
Yes.
But would you like to tell us anything? The city'd like to give you another month to clean it up. Do you think you can do that?
Yes, I can.
Oh,
I did
good.
a lot last night.
That's what I
so-
heard. Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I got it pretty much cleaned up.
All right, comments from the board? Chair will entertain a motion to amend previous order of non-compliance allow respondent until February 5th, 2025 to come into compliance and be returned to the board for a subsequent meeting for consideration of fine of up to $1,000 a day. Such a motion?
So moved.
Motion, Ms. Himes, second.
Second.
Second, Mr. Gonzalez. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Good. Thank you very much for trying to get this in order. And
Right.
okay, hopefully we won't have to see you again. Okay. Make sure you stay in touch with your code officer because she's the one that will put you in compliance. Okay.
Okay.
So when you're finished, you call her,
Okay.
or you have a question for her, you call her.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so I think now we have done case 21, we did case 22, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and now we're back to our new cases. Well, Mr. Beanie, I don't know you. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Madam Chair. Yes, my name is Code Inspector Ron Beanie. My credentials are on file.
Okay. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
All right, these are new cases. We are only here, for all of you that are left, we are only here to determine whether your code officer, whether you are in compliance or not in compliance. We are not here to fine you at this point. There will be no fines issued at this point. And we'll see how much time we give you to come into compliance if you're not in compliance. This is case number 23. CEB 01-25-01, Donna and Glenn Wetherell. Respondents present? Okay. Mr. Beanie, what would you like to tell us?
Yes, Inspector Ron Beanie, code compliance credentials are on file. This case was opened on August 22nd, 2024 as a field generated case for outside storage, unmaintained landscaping, falling front door overhang, dirt and grime, no permit on a shed and enclosed window, trash and debris, pallet used as a step, damaged fencing, broken window, window screens torn, and exposed wiring on porch light. First notice was received on September 13th, 2024. Compliance was due on October 13th, 2024. Last date of reinspection on January 8th, 2025, and the result were no non-compliance. Contact has been made with the owner. Staff recommends non-compliance with compliance due next cutoff.
Okay. Chair will entertain motion to find respondent non-compliance or respondent to come into compliance by the next cutoff date, which is February 5th, 2025, or be returned to the board for consideration of fine of up to $1,000 per day. Such a motion, Mr. Who was that? Mr. Harrington made the motion, and Ms. Himes is second. All in favor, say aye. Like sign opposed, motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay. Case number 24 is a Zoom call. CEB 01-25-27, Catherine Chrisman and Jessica Switzer. Do we have them on Zoom? Okay, thank you. Good morning. Can you hear us? Okay. Is this, who, I don't know who this is. I don't know who to say who you are because I don't believe you're Catherine or Jessica. So,
Hi.
but I can't hear you yet.
This is Michael and Karen Williams. We are the owners
Michael,
of the neighboring property. I don't know if it's proper for us to speak right now, but I didn't want to pass over us.
hold on. Well, let's get this. Let's get you on record here first. State your
Okay.
name and address for the record.
Okay.
Go ahead. Michael, what?
Williams. So it's Michael and Karen Williams from 3697 Southeast 19th Avenue, Ocala, Florida, 34471. We are owners and interested party for this case.
All right, be sworn in, please.
Will you raise your right hand? Will you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the test, I can't see the other person.
There's the other person. That is Karen.
There we go. You raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, you should confirm
I
that
am
they
going
are
to.
the owners of this property.
Okay, so do you own this property?
We own the neighboring property.
You own the neighboring property, so you are, how are you related to Catherine Chrisman and Jessica Switzer? Are you related to them in any way?
They are our neighbors, and they came onto our property and spray painted obscenities on their fence facing our property. We have.
So, all right,
tenants
we
with young
have to
children.
we have to establish that you are either a
Sure,
witness,
Madam Chair, just, sir, you're not asking to represent the people. who
you're
are
not
in front of the
representing
board, are
these
you?
people.
No, I am not.
You
So
would
they're
like to be a witness in this case.
Okay, yes.
Okay,
I've been in close contact with John Stetson.
yeah, okay. North Oleander, okay, so you are witnesses. The case is against Chrisman and Switzer. Are they present?
Well, why don't we get the case on record for
Yeah,
Mr. Stetson, so we find out what's.
Well, we will,
talking
but I
about.
have to establish who's gonna be able to speak and answer and,
Well, then he
I
can tell
think.
you.
I can probably clear that.
Yeah.
All right, go right ahead,
All
Mr.
right.
Stenson.
John Stetson, code inspector with the city of qualifications on file. The couple on Zoom,
The Williams, yes.
yes, Williams, they would like to speak about graffiti on their fence. However, that's going to be a different case being handled by Inspector Quinn. That particular issue, I mean, if you still want to hear him, that's fine, but that particular issue isn't on this particular case.
Okay, so what we're considering right now is the case against Chrisman and Switzer. They are the respondents for unmaintained landscaping, premises identification, and damaged roof at the address of 2312 North Oleander Avenue. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So in fact, the Williams who are here now want to be a witness to a different case?
Yes, the case they're talking about.
Okay, are you understanding, are you following this, sir, that we're taking the case that's in front of us, which is all we can do right this minute, is take this case that's in front of us and rule on this case.
Okay.
And is there another case?
There is another
on-
case, not on this agenda, but
on-
there's another case for that. yes.
Okay, there will be another case. Okay, right now, there's really nothing to, unless you want to be a witness about the unmaintained landscaping. I don't know.
Yeah, yes, I
But
can
we
certainly
can't-
be
We can't
witness.
hear the other, we can't hear your complaint until a case is brought.
Okay.
I'm sorry to make you wait all this time to find out. Mr. Gonzalez, what would you like to say?
I would like to say that if they're not a witness to this case in specific, that they can't be a witness.
Yeah, correct.
Right, so.
We, I can
think
certainly
it's-
witness,
I think excuse
They
me, sir, I'm
can,
not
they
finished.
could witness unmaintained landscaping if they live next door.
Right, well, then they need to say that.
Well, that's what we're
That's
trying
not
to
what
get
they're
to,
saying.
but I
They're
want to
bringing up
establish,
graffiti and some other stuff.
all right, I want to
That has
establish
nothing
who,
To do with this.
what exactly this case is, who is exactly involved in the case, who the witnesses are, future case that may happen. I mean, there's a lot, yeah, it's not,
Madam Chair, if I can,
Go ahead.
Mr. Stenson, do you intend or need to call upon the gentleman and his wife as a witness in this case?
In this case, no.
Okay, so staff isn't asking you to
right,
have him
to have-
testify.
Right,
You could decide,
Correct.
if you don't think you have sufficient evidence from staff as to a violation,
Okay.
that you want them to testify, but
Right.
that would be within the board's discretion.
okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah.
Do you understand? I just want to make sure that
Sure.
he understands all this. Okay. So you understand, Mr. Williams and Mr. and Mrs. Williams, that we're just hearing this very specific case right now,
yes, that's fine. I'll just
which is
hang, I'll
against
hang on
them.
and.
And
in
if
case-
something goes further than this, then you will, okay.
Okay, and
all
I'll
right.
hang on in case the board needs me as a
Okay.
witness. I'll just be
Okay.
quiet otherwise.
All right. All right, go ahead, Mr. Stenson, and tell us what's going on here.
Okay, this is a complaint-driven case for property address numbers, damage suffered, and unmaintained landscaping. Certified mail was received by the property owner on 30 August 2024. Compliance due on 6 September 2024. The last visit to the property was on 8 January 2025. The property remains in non-compliance. We're asking for compliance by the next cutoff.
Okay.
Is the
All right,
house,
we're going to rule on this case. Do I have comments?
is the house occupied?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Madam Chair.
All right, we're motion to find the respondent in non-compliance in order to respond to come into compliance by the next cutoff date, February 5th, 2025, and be returned to the board for consideration fine of up to $1,000 today. Is there such a motion? That would be times. Second, Mr. Gonzalez, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Okay,
I don't think you need him anymore. if the
I
case has
don't think
been
that we
decided.
need you because there's nothing else on this agenda. You're gonna have to wait till another agenda, I'm sorry to say, before you can testify. Because we don't have that case, okay? In front of us, so we can't rule on cases that we don't have in front of us. But thank you for showing up today, appreciate that. Okay,
Let me ask you,
go ahead.
if somebody puts graffiti on somebody else's house, that's not a code violation against the
Right.
property owner.
Graffiti is, she has a privacy fence. She has no trespassing signs all the way around. In this particular instance, she didn't have a sign for the fence, so she decided to spray paint it along with some additional information that I won't mention.
All right, when that case comes before us, we'll rule on that. Okay. All right, so now we are, Mr. Stinson, at case number 25 CEB 01-25-28 Gail Mitchell at Woodland Avenue, 252 Woodland. That's done, right?
Yeah.
What-
Yes, that's
Okay,
in
that's in
compliance.
compliance. All right, case 26. CB 01-25-02 Willis Hill, Carol Fraser, Gloria Hill, Estate Richardson Hill, blah, blah, okay, at Sycamore, et cetera, et al. Mr. Klieg's here.
Appears we have a
Are
respondent.
the respondents here? Good, come on up.
Can you imagine if we've had to heard all these cases? We'll be here till next week.
This is just compliance or non-compliance. Please, if both of you are going to talk, state your name and address for the record and be sworn in. Go ahead.
Willis Hill Jr., 3835 South Clyde Morris Boulevard, Port Orange, Florida, 32129.
Robin Hill. 3835 South Clyde Morris Boulevard.
Okay, will you both raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony about the provided is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you.
So you represent the estate.
No, only his share.
All right, hold on. We need to, how are you related to the estate?
They're siblings.
They're siblings, and have they given you permission to speak for them?
We're not speaking for them, he's speaking for himself. I just said.
And what, I'm sorry, what is your first name, sir?
Willis Hill.
You're Willis Hill.
Yeah.
And you are, ma'am, who are you?
His wife, Robin Hill.
Robin Hill. So you're speaking for the estate as part of the estate?
Correct.
Okay, got it. Just want to get it on record. Okay, fine. Thank you. All right, we're going to hear, this is just compliance or non-compliance. We're going to hear from Mr. Klieg first. Go ahead, Mr. Klieg.
Officer Clegg, my credentials are on file. 911 Sycamore was a field-generated case opened up on August the 14th of 2024 for a damaged fence, rotten wood, peeling paint, faded paint, damage at the roof dripped by edge. Was first notified August 20, 2024. Compliance due was on September 19th of 2024. Reinspection done on January 6th of 2025. No contact and still in non-compliance, no work done. Staff's recommending finding finding non-compliance with compliance next cutoff.
What would you like to tell us? Have you done anything?
No. Well,
Why?
I keep the yard up. I see you wrote me
Okay.
up for weeds.
Yeah.
But the yard man quit. I guess he had some kind of sickness, but all the years we've always kept the
Yeah,
yard.
since
Okay.
the
Okay.
last one, yeah.
But anyway, as we stated at first, it's a state. So we was on the list with the city for a couple of years. Because I recognized the man name you all just called. So then when we was on the list for a few years, we thought that we were gonna get the roof put on. But then when he did call, when the number came up, he said, we filled out the application, the contractors came out, but then he said we were like a couple of dollars away from, the income level that we should have been in. And then also, they said that I guess it done been so long now that they were gonna need, like you said with this other case, I guess the whole house might have to come down now. Cause we waited, every hurricane, I filled out hurricane for FEMA, they denied us. So then we went on the list for the Daytona, they, 2 or 3 years wait. And then now the roof is just really gone. But with it being in the state, we can't just put the roof on the house. We got to get everybody. Nobody communicates with nobody. Nobody wants to talk about it. From my knowledge, no one is here
I
to
know.
represent it.
I get it.
We always been the one that came to me, but it's his father's home. He wants to save it. So I don't know, I'm thinking about trying to put a roof on, just go ahead and do it, get a loan and do it. But then I can't get any insurance. And then what if another hurricane come through? I'm just kind of stuck.
I get it.
And the other stuff that you're speaking of, I see you can see I have put in windows when we lived there on the side, different.
You don't live
places.
there now. You live in Quad.
Right,
now.
we had to move out because of the hurricane. A couple of the hurricanes, we live up there in Port Orange now.
Yeah.
But I'm saying when we did live there, and then with the yard man quit. I paid another guy. He cut it once or twice. Then I paid him again. He ran off with the money. And I was thinking about the yard people who cut yards now. They want the riding lawnmowers. Where if you can look at the both sides of the house, they can't get in. So I was thinking about doing the fence on the city part to be a double so that they could get in. But then Mr. Tommy Huger just contacted him because it's the same street he lives on. He just contacted him and asked would we be willing to sell the house. No, he don't want to sell it. Well, then he said he owned that property that's on the next side. So therefore, I cannot go on his side to put the fence in.
A lot of this, I'm listening to your predicament. We're all listening to your predicament. And a lot of this is kind of extraneous to the fact that the house is not in compliance. Do you have a letter that you are on the city wait list?
We already been on the city.
Yeah, I know.
It's
But
3 years.
I asked if you had a letter or confirmation.
No, I didn't know I
Mr.
should
Kling.
bring it.
Okay, that's
but
okay.
yeah, he do have the
Mr.
correspondence.
Kling, do you
from
have
it.
that information?
No, ma'am. It's first I haven't had no contact with them until
That's
now.
not relevant. We're just here to determine non-compliance.
That's true. All we're doing today is.
Well, what I
non-compliance.
like to know is, if it continues to be non-compliance, then what is the procedure with it? Cause I'm almost about to just say let it go. Cause
Well, that would be your decision.
Right,
That's not
it is.
our
But what I'm
decision.
saying is, I like to know because I'm trying to keep up. The guy with the trailer, he got a no tag. It ain't no
And
tag on there.
that's okay.
And
We need to get
he don't
okay.
move the trailer.
All right.
to
Excuse
park
me.
the cut
Excuse me,
here.
ma'am.
So
What,
when
ma'am?
you say
We
weeds
need-
for us,
ma'am.
we got weeds too.
Hello?
Okay.
What today is just compliance.
Well, that's what I'm
Wait,
saying.
listen,
It's non-compliance. We all know that.
Hold on. It's just compliance to non-compliance.
Yes.
And that's what we're deciding today. Now, once we do that, then you can either comply later or not, but you'll have a date to come back.
Right. Yes, ma'am. But what I'm trying to say is, if we have a date to come back, then how many dates is it before you just take the house?
We don't ever take that.
Well, that's what I'm
No
saying.
one
I don't
takes
know
the
the
house.
procedure. I'm trying to
Well,
find
then
out
you-
about the
okay.
procedure.
Alright,
Your
okay.
code officer right there, he's giving you a thing. Get in
And you don't have
contact
to come
with
stand
him.
here. I'm just making my note, my same beat.
Okay, but I need you now to stop talking because we understand that you have questions. We're trying to tell you that your code officer
That's right, that's who you
will
need to get with.
answer your questions. We do not make the rules. We can listen to your case, but your house, by looking at it in the picture, is not in compliance. We listen to the city present its case.
Yes, ma'am.
And all we're doing today is determining whether you are in compliance or non-compliance.
But
That's it.
My thought is, we've been here about 3 or 4 years ago, and it was something about
Well,
a
that was a
fee.
long time ago.
Right, that's a long time ago. So we were waiting on the list then, on the list. So that's what I'm saying. I want to know, from that time, you all put a fee on. What happened to
didn't do-
that fee?
I'm sorry, we didn't do anything.
We came to this.
Yes, you did, but we don't make the rules.
No, what I'm saying is the fee that you've already put on there. Where does that
What
go?
fee?
What,
Do you have a lien on the property?
It was a. Do you see in the records? What it was you? Yes, it was her. She used to be our worker or whatever.
So is there a lien on the house?
Yeah, there's a lien on it.
Cause we used to correspond with her all the time.
But if there's a lien, then.
So that's all
you
I'm
would
trying to
have
find out.
contact-
What,
Is this a new case? This is
This is as a
all
new
right, go
case
ahead.
here.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, yes, I had a previous case with.
could you
State your
name,
Okay,
please?
Sarah Kirk, inspector with the city. I did have a previous case. It's probably been 3 years
Yeah,
now.
about 3
It's
or
been a while
something.
ago.
Okay.
And they did, it did result in a lien on the property.
So there is a lien on the property. So
Yes.
what is this case? A new case?
That's what I'm trying to find out.
So we're trying to find out, so
Okay.
just let me do it. Go ahead.
Yep, so apparently, complaint case? Field gener, so there was a new case, a field generated case. 3 years have passed. It's, so it may be the same violations, but that's, but there is a
So
previous
we're
lien.
having a new case.
It is a new case.
Even though we already have a lien on the case
Yes, ma'am.
previously for the same violations?
I don't know if it's for the same violation.
I don't
is,
either.
it is.
Okay. I'm asking the city for the same violations.
I'll double check, but I thought it was a different.
I'm willing to, I think we need some clarification on this. Obviously, it's not in compliance.
Yeah, because how could it be a new case if it's already had a lien on it?
I don't, I'm having a hard time understanding this.
And I was unaware of the prior violation, so I don't have any information.
So
to
what
give
should
you.
we do, just,
I think you should continue until the
Can-
next
To
meeting.
the next.
I think so too. So the chair will entertain a,
And staff
Go
will
ahead.
find out about.
we need to, we need to get this squared away.
I'm sorry, you were both talking at the same time. I
I'm
didn't-
sorry, go
I
ahead.
said, and staff will find out for us, is there a lien on it and really the true status of the case?
All right.
Yes, I'm sure staff will, and if they need to consult with legal, they'll do that.
All right, I think that the motion can just be to continue the case
Correct.
until February 13th, 2025.
Right.
Okay.
Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Ms. Himes made a motion.
Second.
Second, Mr. Gonzalez. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed.
Well, I would add that the legal department give us, besides the definition, give us a procedure or give us,
Yeah.
a concrete answer. because
Yeah.
this is not the
I
first-
think they're
this is not
aware
the
that
first
we're,
time that this has happened.
we're
It's happened
confused
before.
by this case.
Yeah.
That there is some confusion around this case.
You can get in touch with him to find out what is going on with the case.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Clearwood.
I'm sorry, Madam Chair. I didn't get who motioned and second.
Who made the motion?
I did.
Ms. Himes and second, Mr. Gonzalez.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to, have the city straighten out their end of it. But the property cannot be allowed to remain in non-compliance forever, no matter what the position of the city is, or what your position is, or what the estate position is. It cannot be allowed to remain in compliance.
We expect you to come back and tell us what you're gonna do, how you're gonna solve all these problems you told us about, because those aren't our problems.
Right.
Those are yours. So you come back and you talk to us.
We're just giving you extra time to
We
let's
don't
work
need to
on this
know
and get
all your
it, so we're on a level playing field here, the city, and you guys are on a level playing field. And so
Okay,
we
I'm just trying to
understand.
understand
Yeah,
in
me
the
too.
end
Well,
what
confused
would
us
happen to
too,
it.
so we're okay. All right, thank you. We're gonna move on to the next case. So I guess there are two separate cases for Melissa Farrington at 1329 Golfview Drive. Is the respondent present for either case?
I think you should read each one.
We're going to do each one
independently.
separately, but I don't have to ask that question again. I guess, well, I don't know. All right, so CEB 01-25-03, case 27, Melissa Farrington, 1329 Golfview Drive. Compliance or non-compliance, the respondent present? No, okay. That would be no show. Okay, go ahead, Mr.
Officer
Clegg.
Clegg, my credentials are on file. This first case is a field-generated case opened November 12th for outside storage, trash, and debris, and no water in an occupied home. We were first notified on November 13th of 2024, with compliance due November 18th of 2024. January 6th reinspection shows nothing's been done. No contact was made with the owner. Staff recommends a non-compliance with compliance due by next cutoff.
Okay. Chair, I measure find respondent, anything from the board? To find respondent non-compliance or respondent come into compliance by the next cutoff date or be returned to the board for consideration fine of up to $1,000 per day. Such a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion, Ms. Himes, second, Mr. Gonzalez, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Is someone living there, Mr. Clegg? Just,
No, ma'am.
okay. All right, case number 28, CEB 01-25-29, Melissa Farrington at 1329 Golfview, respondent present. Go ahead, Mr. Clegg.
Officer Clegg, my credentials are on file. This is a field-generated case open for on December 9th, 2024, for unsanitary unsecured pool, missing hardware fixtures in the garage, improper plumbing and electrical systems. They were first notified December 9th with compliance due on December 12th. January 6th reinspection shows nothing's been done, no contact made, and staff's recommending to be in non-compliance with compliance next cutoff.
Okay, Mr. Clegg, have the pool is still unsecured?
It's unsecured, but it was drained. It was.
Oh, it was drained.
Well, unsecure, I mean, that's still a danger, just a drained pool with nothing in it.
But we're talking about the carport, the fence enclosure.
There is a fence enclosure, or there is not?
There was a fence enclosure, but it's a screened patio, and it's been damaged.
Yeah, this is the picture I was looking
Right.
at right
Yeah.
here. Okay.
So are we saying that the pool is enclosed or it's not enclosed?
Correct.
It's secured or not secured?
It's not secured.
Not secured.
Okay.
It looks like it's got water in it.
Yeah, that's a
That was an
December
old
12th
picture.
picture. man.
Oh,
No,
okay.
that was December 24th.
All right, the pool is not secured. Would we like to authorize the city to secure the property? Secure the pool?
Of course.
Yes, to secure the pool.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that the city secures the pool in the case of, where's the case number?
CB 012529.
29.
Okay,
Find the respondent in non-compliance or the respondent to come into compliance by the next cutoff date and further authorize the city to secure the property.
Okay.
Within how many days?
Within
10 days, securing
10
the
days.
pool.
Okay. So we have a motion to that effect from Mr. Gonzalez. Do we have a second?
Second, it's right here.
Second, Ms. Himes. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Okay. Case number 29, CEB 01-25-04, Bradford McClemmy. Tracy Boyd, respondent present.
He was present. He had to leave for an appointment.
Ahead.
This case was generated and opened on January 16th, 2024. Violations are junk and debris, no permit for a privacy fence, mildew and rot on the structure, high grass and weeds, and inoperable vehicles. Respondent first notified on January 16th, 2024.
A year ago.
Yes. The compliance date was February 17th, 2024. I have had contact with the property owner. Staff recommends non-compliance with compliance by the next cutoff.
Chair will entertain a motion to respond non-compliance or respond to committee compliance by the next cutoff date.
Excuse me, I don't mean to interrupt, but these are the wrong photos for this property.
Of course.
Did he hear?
Where are, he's not here. All right. Junk and debris, it's hard.
For 227 Michigan Ave.
This property is at 227 Michigan Avenue.
Yes, ma'am.
Do we have pictures for that? But you're saying that this property is not in compliance and you're asking
Correct.
for the next cutoff. Okay.
Correct.
We are going to take testimony and
We have a verbal
motion.
description.
What? A verbal description? And find the respondent non-compliance or respondent into compliance on the next cutoff date, February 2nd, 2025, and return to the board for consideration, fine of up to $1,000 a day. Ms. Hines made the motion. There a second? Second, Mr. Gonzalez. All in favor say aye. Like sign opposed. Motion carries. Those are the pictures?
These are the correct pictures, yes, ma'am.
All right, so now we have seen the pictures for case number CEB 01-25-04. Okay. Case number 30, CEB 01-25-06, Richard Yule in Mulberry Street. 615 Mulberry. Compliance or
respondents are
not
here.
compliance is person here?
Yes, ma'am, they're here.
Please state your name and address for the record if you're going to testify.
Sierra McDonald, 430 South Seagrave Street.
What street?
Seagrave?
So you don't live on Mulberry.
No.
What is your relationship to Richard Uhl?
Power of attorney?
Is the home rented?
No.
Is it occupied?
Yes.
Let get her sworn in so her testimony counts. Go ahead.
Your last name again was McDonald?
McDonald?
Okay. Will he be speaking?
They're swearing you in, not me.
If you're gonna speak, sir, we need both of you.
If you're going to talk, you're going to need to be sworn in, sir. Okay. Okay.
No, it was,
And the
Okay,
gentleman's name is?
Your name, sir?
my name is Richard Yule.
Oh, you are Richard Yule. Okay.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Do.
Yes.
Thank you.
Do you live there, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, we're going to hear from Ms. Quinn first.
Okay, this case was generated and opened on July 18th, 2024 via a complaint from the Daytona Beach Police Department. Violations include excessive amount of outside storage, trash and debris, a broken window on the south side of the house. Respondent was first notified on July 24th, 2024. The compliance date was August 24th, 2024. I have had contact with the property owner. Staff recommends non-compliance with a compliance by the next cutoff.
Miss McDonald, do you have power of attorney of whom?
Richard.
Okay. Well, what would you, I mean, this is just excessive amount of outside storage, trash and debris, broken window. Do you live there, sir? You do live there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, what would you like to tell us so we can see from the pictures?
My father is also a tenant there, and all of the outside storage is his. I'm asking for an extension so that I can get an eviction notice to get him off of the property.
Get
to
who off of the property?
My father,
Who is your father?
David McDonald. He also resides at the residence.
But today is just.
Today,
Fine.
this has to, who owns this property?
Richard.
This has to be cleaned up. It doesn't matter who did it.
Correct.
But it has to be cleaned up. So what the city is asking for is the next cutoff day to get this property cleaned up and get it back into compliance. The rest of the issues are something you're going to have to deal with. Who lives there, who doesn't live there.
With your code officer.
So just stay in touch. Do we have any questions from the board? Chair will entertain a motion to find respondent in non-compliance or respondent committed to compliance by the next cutoff date, February 5th, 2025, or be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. Such a motion? Motion, Ms. Marsh, second, Ms. Himes, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. So you're first notified, this says 1/16/2024, so this has been going on for a long time, correct? Go ahead.
No, ma'am, that was the previous case. This
I'm
one was
sorry.
July 18th,
July,
2024.
But still, it's been since July, correct?
And there has been progress made.
Some progress,
Yeah,
okay.
they did make quite a bit of progress.
Good.
But no, they're having difficulties with.
Yeah. Okay, so houses, all we're here today, house is not in compliance. Please try and get it into compliance. You'll have to come back or contact Ms. Quinn, and if you get it into compliance, or she can tell you what you still need to do to get it into compliance, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, case number 31, CEB 01-25-07, Georgia Ann Estate, 905 Rosewood Street. Respondent present?
He was here earlier, but had to get back to work.
Can understand.
Okay, go ahead.
Good morning, Inspector
Mr.
Roosevelt.
Butler.
Yes, ma'am. Inspector Roosevelt Butler. Credentials on file with the City of Daytona Beach. As it pertains to 905 Rosewood, this was a field-generated case. A site inspection was conducted on July 9, 2024, where it was determined the property had the following violations: overgrown landscaping, dilapidated fencing, and a dilapidated screen porch, which is the roof. The property was posted on August 13th, 2024. The property was to be in compliance on September the 13th, 2024. The last date of reinspection was January the 8th, 2025. Result of my reinspection was non-compliance. I've had contact with the owner, which is the son. Staff requests a finding of non-compliance compliance by next cutoff.
Okay, any questions? Chair, and I just want to make sure that someone, well, he was here earlier, but he's not here now, someone from the Georgia Ann Estate.
That's
We
correct.
don't know the name of that person.
His name is JR. That's what I
Okay.
know him by.
Okay.
And
But
he's a
not
city
here-
official.
He's not here now.
He works for the city.
Okay. Chair will entertain a motion to find respondent non-compliance or respondent committed to compliance. The next cutoff date, February 2nd, 2025, will be returned to the board for consideration for a fine of up to $1,000 per day. Such a motion?
Second.
Motion, Ms. Marsh, second, Mr. Harrington. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Case number 32, Mr. Butler, 01-25-09, Deborah Lynn Gordon. Ms. Gordon, present? Okay.
I have it pulled up on the screen.
Oh, this was a Zoom call?
Going to my list, yes, Madam Chair.
Okay. They still there?
I notified them in the Zoom chat, if you will, at 11:20 a.m.
Okay.
We were on case 25 and then
Yep.
yeah.
I guess she's not there.
I guess she's not there. All right. Ms. Gordon, are you there?
No.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Butler.
As it pertains to 850 Lewis, this was a field-generated case. A site inspection was conducted on July 31st, 2024, where it was determined the property had the following violations: illegal parking, storage container, dilapidated fencing, parking and work without a permit, new structure, and fence. The property was posted on September the 18th, 2024. The property was to be in compliance on October the 18th, 2024. Last date of reinspection was January the 8th, 2025. Result of my reinspection was non-compliance. I've had one contact with the property owner. Staff requests finding of non-compliance, compliance by next cutoff.
So they're doing work without permits as well?
There is a structure on the property. As if he can zoom in a little closer, you'll be able to see it to the right-hand side.
Look like somebody's there. Her shadow, anyway.
Oh, hello.
Can you hear me?
We can. Please state your name and address for the record and be sworn in.
Deborah Gordon, 850 Lewis Drive, Daytona Beach, 32117.
Okay, do you live at that property?
I do, but I work in a different county.
Do you live at that property?
That's why we're doing the Zoom.
Okay, all right, got it. All right, be sworn in, please.
Will you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, we're just here today to determine whether you are in compliance or not in compliance. And
okay.
Let's go back to Mr. Butler. Let's start this over. It's field generated.
Yes, it was a field-generated case.
Uh-huh.
I conducted a site inspection on July 31st, the 24th,
Uh-huh.
where it determined the property had the following violations: illegal parking, which is a storage container, dilapidated fencing, parking, and work without a permit, new structure, and fence. The property was posted on September the 18th, 2024. The property was to be in compliance on October the 18th, 2024. My last date of reinspection was January the 8th, 2025.
Okay.
Result of that was non-compliance. I've had one contact with the property owner. Staff requests finding of non-compliance, compliance by next cutoff.
Okay, so I don't know. You've been working without permits. You're not obviously in compliance. There's an unapproved storage container. There's dilapidated fencing. Is there still parking on the grass, Mr. Butler?
The container is gone.
Okay,
The
container's gone.
Yeah, the car was moved. I should have a photo with that.
Okay.
What I see that's remaining, she's going to have to get a permit for that structure to the right-hand side of the property, as well as some more work needed to be done on the fencing.
Okay, so you need a permit, according to Mr. Butler, and you need to do more work on the fencing, a permit as well for that?
Yeah, the PVC fence that you see, she needs to get a permit for that.
Okay.
As well as the wooden part of the fence needs a little more work.
Do you understand what you need to do?
If I may speak, ma'am. I have spoken with the permit department. I spoke with Melissa on December 23rd of 2024, and she explained to me what I needed to do as far as getting the permit. I explained to her that my son and a family friend put up that part of the fence. We did not understand that we needed a permit to do that. I've explained that to the permit department. She's explained to me, or has stated to me, as what I need to do. I am working on that, like finding my deed. It's a whole list of things that I have to do, which will take time. That will take time. As far as the storage unit, it was moved in November of last year. That was removed. I was there and witnessed that. As far as Mr. Butler, or if I have the name correct,
yes,
I did not understand that he had been out to my home as many times as he has stated. I am not saying that you are wrong. I am stating that I did not know. I wasn't aware of it. My son let me know about the last time that you were at my home. This was in November. I immediately called the code enforcement office. I spoke with Teresa. She gave me the name of the gentleman that is there, the enforcement officer. I called his office 2 to 3 times. I left my name, my telephone numbers. I left my schedule for when I was working. I left my schedule as to when he could speak with me. I have not heard anything back from him, but this is what I have done. And what else is it that was on the list?
Well, obviously you need to get permits. Have you applied for permits?
As I said, ma'am, I spoke with Melissa.
Oh, have you applied for the permits?
She gave me a list of things to do before I can do that, ma'am.
Have you done those things?
As I said before, I am in the process of looking for documents, and I have not been able to find the documents.
That's fine. So you have not gotten the permit, so you are not in compliance.
Yes, ma'am, and
but you
that's
know what you
fine.
need to do, because you've spoken to them, to come into compliance. We are merely here to determine whether you were in compliance or not in compliance.
And I understand that, yes.
Okay, that's
So,
it. We're not
as I
fining
said-
you, we're not doing anything. You move forward.
Yes, ma'am, I
You
understand
move
that.
forward and you stay in touch with Mr. Butler. So that he can, because he will be the one that will put you in compliance after you get your permit and the work is done and the permit has been signed off on. So all we're doing
Okay,
today.
as soon
Go ahead.
Okay. As soon
Okay, good. All right. So
get
just stay in
all
touch.
of those
Stay in
things
touch.
done. Okay, hold on a moment, ma'am. I just want to explain to you guys that I work in a different county, so I'm not in Volusia County where I can go and do these things. So it will probably be in the spring before I can get up there, and because I work Monday through Friday, and I can't get up there.
Do you live there?
I am there on the weekends and holidays. I work in a different county. I work 3 hours away.
Do you live in a different county?
I am in a different county working
I asked
during
you a
the
question.
weekday.
Do you live at 850
I
Lewis?
do still live at 850 Lewis Drive, but what I'm trying to tell you, I work in a different county 3 hours away, so I am not there Monday through Fridays. I'm there on the weekends and holidays.
I understand that. That is not an issue that we have any control over.
Right.
That the issue that we do have control over is to determine whether you are in compliance or not in compliance. You are not in compliance.
And I understand that, ma'am.
That's all we're determining today. You are not in
Yes,
compliance.
ma'am, I understand.
Okay, so
I
you need
understand.
to do what you need to do to get into compliance.
And I will, but I want you to understand that
It's fine. We can understand all we want, but it won't necessarily have a bearing on the case.
I'd like to make
Yes,
a
ma'am, I
motion.
understand,
All
but do you
that's enough
understand
now.
that I'm saying?
I'm finished with testimony now. Mr. Gonzalez, would you like to speak?
Yes, I would like to make a motion that in case number 32, CEB 01-2509, that we accept the city's recommendation and find them in non-compliance and revisit the issue at our February meeting.
Okay, February, okay. All right. Come into compliance by the next cutoff date, which is February 5th, 2025. A motion has been made by Mr. Gonzalez. Is there a second to that? Who made the second? Mr. Harrington. All in favor say aye. Aye. Like sign opposed, motion carries. Thank you. All right, we're going to move on now. To case 33.
34.
That has been found in compliance. Case number CB 012510, Jimmy Ann Drive, 1187 has been found to be in compliance. Case number 34, CB 01-25-11, Tam Ewan. I'm sorry, terrible with this name here. If anybody'd like to help me out, I'd be fine. And Eugen. Okay. Person that, the respondent available? Okay. 133 Eagle Harbor Way. Go ahead, Mr. Butler.
As pertains to 133 Eagle Harbor Way, this case was a citizen complaint case. A site inspection was conducted on September 23rd, 2024, where it was determined the property had the following violation: work without a permit, install brick pavers. The property was notified on September 26, 2024. The property was to be in compliance on October 26, 2024. My last reinspection was January 8th, 2025. Result of my reinspection was non-compliance. I've had contact with the property owner. Staff requests finding of non-compliance, compliance by next cutoff. May I add to the board, from review of the system, a permit was acquired on 1825. It's due to be re-inspected this week.
Oh, good. Okay. Chair will entertain a motion to find respondent non-compliance or respondent to come into compliance by the next cutoff date, February 5th, 2025, will be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 a day. Is there such a motion?
So second.
Motion, Ms. Marsh, second, Ms. Himes. Let it be known that Mr. Harrington is not here for the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. We still have a quorum. Motion carries. Okay. Case number 35, Mr. Butler, CEB 01-25-12, Sarah Flannery at 1356 Continental Drive. Respondent present.
As pertains to 1356 Continental Drive, this was a field-generated case. I conducted a site inspection on September the 3rd, 2024, where it was determined the property had the following violations: overgrown landscaping, dilapidated fencing, damaged roof, soffit, and excess garbage and rubbish, both front and back. The property was notified on August the 27th, 2024. The property was to be in compliance on September the 27th, 2024. Last date of reinspection was January the 8th, 2025. Result of my reinspection was non-compliance. I've had contact with the property owner. Staff requests finding of non-compliance, compliance by next cutoff.
Okay. Chair will entertain a motion to find respondent non-compliance or respondent come into compliance by February 5th, 2025, will be returned to the board for consideration of fine of up to $1,000 a day. Such a motion?
So moved.
Motion, Ms. Himes, second. Ms. Marshall, in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Case number 36, CEB 01-25-13, Charles Davis. Mr. Davis here? Is this Mr. Davis coming up?
Yes, he is.
Okay. Thank you for coming. This address is 1014 Continental Drive. All right, sir, state your name and address for the record.
Will you raise your right hand, sir? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Do you live there, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, go ahead, Mr. Butler. We'll hear from him.
As it pertains to 1014 Continental Drive, this is a field-generated case. I conducted a site inspection on September the 4th, 2024, which determined the property had the following violations: peel and paint, outdoor storage, and illegal parking. The property was notified on September the 10th, 2024. The property was to be in compliance on October the 10th, 2024. Last date of reinspection was January the 2nd, 2025. Result of my reinspection was non-compliance. I've had no contact with the property owner. Staff request a finding of staff request a finding of non-compliance compliance by next cutoff.
Well, we can see that that there's illegal parking. We can see that there's some peeling paint. We can see that there's outside storage, so we can pretty much determine by the pictures that there's a problem with compliance. What, do you think you can fix all those things?
Go by there now and you look, ma'am, please.
Okay, we don't do that.
Well,
I'll tell you
I'm
who
just-
does do that. Mr. Butler does that. So if you fixed all those things and you want him to come out and put you into compliance, he will come out and do that for you, and then you won't have to come back. You understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
You're to call him.
You understand that you're to call Mr. Butler. We don't put you into compliance.
Ma'am,
Mm-hmm.
before I got this certified letter,
Mhm.
I try to make contact, can't get nobody. So, what I supposed to do?
So you're supposed
like
to
I
call
did,
him,
come down
or
here.
you can call the code office. There are a number of ways that you can get these things done. But
Excuse me, Mr. Butler, you have a card you can give him?
I will take care of that. If I may add, he came down to the office and spoke to my supervisor. However, I've been by his property numerous times, spoke with his son. He's done some things. Okay, as he stated, if you look at the pictures, he done some things. However, it's not my rule. The rule, it is what it is. The house has to be painted because it has peel and paint. So if he removed all the other things and all the other violations are in place, the house has to be adhered to.
Okay.
So that's where we are. Thank you.
yes, and go ahead. One more. We don't make the rules either, sir.
I know, I just want him to define peel and paint. I got a pressure cleaner, I pressure clean the front of my house, and I'm still trying to see what peel and paint.
I'll speak to him outside.
He'll meet you on site and point it out to you.
He'll be able to explain it to you.
We went through this last time. We went through this identical thing the last meeting we had. That's how it got here. And
Well, this is the first time this case is
Right,
being
correct.
heard.
This is a new
no,
case.
we heard this case, or it wouldn't be here for non-compliance.
No.
This is a new case.
This is just a new case,
Oh, this is
compliance or
another new case?
non-compliance.
No, this is the first time.
This is the first time for this.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. That's what it is. First time.
First time.
Yes.
We may have had a
Non-compliance.
similar complaint before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did have a similar.
Right, but this is the first time for this case.
Okay,
Go ahead.
Madam Chair, I motion that we accept the city's recommendation in the next call.
Okay. Find the respondent non-compliance and a respondent come into compliance by the next cutoff date. Motion by Ms. Himes, second by Mr. Gonzalez. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like, sign, opposed. All right, you get with Mr. Butler. He's right here, right now. You get with him and you arrange a time where he can show you exactly what needs to be done. We can't tell you what needs to be done. He can. That's not our job. Okay, thank you. All right, let's go on to case number 37, CEB 01-25-15, Matilda Riley. Ms. Riley, present? Hello, Ms. Riley? Come on up. State your name and address for the record and be sworn in.
Matilda Riley, 1625 Floman Street, Daytona Beach, Florida, 32117.
You raise your right hand.
Yes.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony about the provider is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
So you don't live there?
No,
Okay, does anyone live there?
not at the time.
Okay, we're gonna hear from Ms. Kirk. Go ahead, Ms. Kirk.
Okay, this is a complaint-generated case for damaged roof, trim, soffit, rubbish, garbage. First notification was 3/29/24. Compliance was due 4/29/24. I did a site visit on January 2nd, 2025. The property is still in non-compliance. Staff's recommending a finding of non-compliance with compliance due by the next cutoff.
Yeah. I see the tarp on the roof. Is that still there?
Yes,
Correct.
I'm dealing with the insurance company trying to take the whole house down and put a new one in. But we've been backwards and forth for the last 6 months almost.
And where are you in this process?
I should know something by the end of the month.
Good. Okay. So, I mean, there's not much we can do about it. We can see that it's not in compliance because the
Right.
tarp is not complying. But we understand that you're having issues with the insurance company as well. So you're going to have to come back and let us know where you are, and hopefully you'll be moving along in the process, and we'll give you time to do what you need to do if you're making progress.
No problem.
Okay. Chair will entertain a motion to find respondent non-compliance or respondent committed to compliance at the next cutoff date, February 5th, 2025, or be returned to the board for consideration of fine of up to $1,000 a day.
So moved.
Motion, Mr. Gonzalez, second, Ms. Himes. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. All right, case, thank you. So just keep on keeping on and make sure that you talk to Ms. Kirk all the time and let her know
No problem.
where you are in the process, okay?
No problem.
All right, good.
I'll talk to you later.
Thank you for coming. Case number 38, CEB 01-25-16, Elizabeth Coleman, Kimberly Johnson at 837 South Cottle. Respondents present? Okay. Go ahead, Ms. Kirk.
Okay, this is a complaint-generated case for overgrown grass, outside storage, damage, missing soffit, damaged fence, and the address numbers not being visible from the street. First notification was 10/16/24. Compliance was due November 16, 2024. There has been some progress, but it's not quite compliance. Staff is requesting an order of non-compliance with compliance due by the next cutoff.
Well, when you say there's some compliance, what is the compliance?
The grass, the yard was cut.
Okay.
The soffit in the front was repaired. I haven't been on the back side as a
Okay.
neighbor complaint, so I can't. It appears the damaged fence is still down, and then also the address numbers are still not
Okay.
visible.
And is there still outside storage?
The outside storage from the front has been removed. So like I said, I haven't been on the side yet with the
Okay.
complainant.
So you've been in touch with these people?
They have never contacted me, just the complainant next door.
So there's been no contact and they aren't here?
Right.
But they are doing some things?
Yep, they have.
But still in non-compliance?
Yes.
Chair will entertain a motion to find respondent in non-compliance or respondent come into compliance by February 2nd, 2025, or be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day.
So moved.
Motion, Mr. Gonzalez, second, Ms. Marsh? All in favor, say aye. Oh, sorry, I mean, because who was it? Mr. Harrington made the motion?
But you did that before with me. Well, I made the motion.
Okay, well, you have to
But it's
really
all right.
speak up and not be
It's
looking
all
in a different direction, so we make a lot of motions here.
They're gonna have to make a motion.
And it's 10 after 12. So, who made the motion?
I did.
Mr. Harrington made the motion,
And she second.
and Ms. Marsh made the second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. So, let's see, we have,
I think this is the last case.
is this it, the Rayfield McLeod at 955 Magnolia, case number 39? Respondent present? Yes, sir, I'm sorry you had to wait so long. That's true, it is. Cold in here, too. All right, okay. state your name and address for the record and be sworn in. This is case number 39CB01-25-17.
Ray McLeod, 955 Magnolia Ave, Daytona Beach, Florida, 32114.
Will you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, go ahead, Ms. Kirk.
Okay. This is a complaint-generated case for outside storage, a dilapidated shed or structure in the backyard, dirt and grime on the house, boat in the front yard, parking on grass, trash debris. First notification was 3/28/24. Compliance was due 4/28/24. I have had contact with the owner. Staff is requesting an order of non-compliance with compliance due by the next cutoff.
Is there anything you'd like to say? Are you working on these things, Mr. McLeod?
It's all complete for as I'm.
Well, okay, so what you have to do then, you understand that you get with Miss Kirk, and she will put you in compliance. We can't do that. You've heard me say that.
Perfectly understand.
Right. So you get her card, you get her number, she'll come over and she'll put you in compliance, and then you won't have to come back.
Okay.
But right now, you're not in compliance because she hasn't put you in compliance.
Okay.
So that's where we are. Chair will entertain motion to find respondent in non-compliance or respondent committed to compliance by the next cutoff date, February 2nd, 2025, and be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. Such a motion.
So moved.
There you go. Mr. Harrington, motion second. Mr. Gonzalez, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries. Meeting adjourned.
Do you realize if